You're live.
Hello, welcome to the Party RPG, to Dreams of Dragons, a live play, complete chaos Ryuutama game. Ryuutama is a lovely Japanese travel RPG that I can now show off because I have the physical book, even though it's too shiny for my camera. It's just so nice. The art is gorgeous. Let's start with the housekeeping. We of course have our wonderful sponsors, which I'm trying to type in chat, but it's complaining that I've been tried for too long. There we go. My personal favorite, I probably should stop saying that, Tabletop Loot. My favorite because they sell dice. I have a serious problem with the amount of dice I own. I know some of my players also have hoards, which we encourage. You never have too many shiny, clicky math rocks.
I just got new ones last week.
There you go. I'm not even going to mention how many I got since last week. We have the code WTTP DICE to get 15% off of your next dice purchase, which you can then use to spend on more dice. Next up, we have Nerdware. We have Matty and his merch shop, who also carry the Welcome to the Party merchandise. But also just generalized nerdware in case you want to be a little less incognito in your day-to-day lives. We have the code WELCOME at checkout for 10% off whatever it is you're buying. Another sponsor we have that we're also using today is Roll20. We're using it for maps, we're using it for music. Some of us use it for digital dice because sometimes those shiny pretty math rocks kind of betray you and roll a whole bunch of ones for you, and then you can try it on Roll20. I'm looking at Roll20 as I'm speaking, and I have this really big fumble in the chat window, so sometimes Roll20 also betrays you a little, but it's all good. It all makes for a better story. Basic accounts are free, and you can sign up anytime you want. And finally, we are proudly supported by Devin Rue, an amazing cartographer who makes amazing maps. You can find everything she does on RueInk.com. And those maps aren't only on parchment, they're also on leather dice holders and dice trays, and they're gorgeous, and you should go look at what she does. Welcome to the Party has a Patreon, because we're nothing if not hip. I say that sarcastically. We're cool, it's fine. Mm-hmm. Patreons are a thing. They give us money, they help us keep the stream going, they offset some of our costs. And we find it extra important because this channel is very much about getting the LGBTQ community and the BIMPOC community on streams and on games. They have their own spaces, they have their own games, and it's something that I feel, and I know most of us feel, should be supported. Check us out at patreon.com/welcome-to-the-party-RPG. And last but not least, we have a Discord where you can come hang out with us. Each game has its own little channel. I've been posting some Ryuutama stuff that we've been dealing with there. There's also pictures of people's pets, which is always good. Generally quite cute. So come join us there. And let's go around and introduce our players. I just sort of don't die of diphtheria in the chat. If they roll well on their condition checks, there won't be any diphtheria, it'll be fine. It won't be Oregon Trail, it'll just be cute. I'm going to go around counterclockwise for me, and we're going to start with Michael.
All right. I am Michael. I'm playing Waden San Clemente II, our noble fighting type character.
All right. And your side job is the chronicler, or the journal
Yes, keeper. I am the journal keeper for the journey.
All right, thank you. Angela.
Hello there, everybody. I'm Angela. I'm going to be playing Hana, let's see if I can remember all of this, a polyamorous, queer, widower, healer, spring magic, herbalist. I think that's everything. Old lady.
Yes. You got a new one.
Yes, I am also now the quartermaster, and also I was technically only the leader or decider for big decisions we had to make, but we are a democratic group.
So many hats.
To say that we follow
tiebreaker.
Yes, I'm the tiebreaker. So that is me. I have a lot of things.
And now you're also in charge of the money. What could possibly go wrong?
So many hats
Hana.
for poor Hana.
This was supposed to be my easygoing game.
Uh-huh. Well, she should have done what I did and play a
Nincompoop.
smart in her own way character. Fern is a professional crocheter / tank. She is a lover of animals, has Clover, the tiny goat, who is also always still protesting. We're not stopping that. And she's got a really big crochet hook, and she doesn't like when people talk down to her like she's stupid, because she knows she's not very intelligent, but she at least knows how to feed animals, which is an art she tried to teach Wayden last time.
Will you do one last thing for me, Anna?
Yes.
Describe your shoe wear.
Well, I think they're amazing. They were the latest thing in my village, and they're like these, I think they're called Crocs, but they're mountaineering Crocs, and they're really, really cool. Technically, they're uncool in Ryuutama, but I think they're amazing, and I don't know why people are laughing at them.
Perfect. We normally would also have Inez playing Lily. Kind way to describe her is just like a hot-headed mom looking for the lost descendant of Queen Hopesinger. Inez, however, had some surgery on her jaw, making talking very difficult because it's all wired shut. So obviously not here today. We wish her the absolute best, the speediest of recoveries, and after reading her Twitter, the best of pain medication. It sounds awful. However, there you go. To help our diminished party along, we have a fabulous guest player who has played Ryuutama before, with this particular character as well. Mare, brief intro.
Hi, I am playing Henry of Kuriko today. Henry is a farmer technical type who just recently got back to his hometown a couple days ago and has walked into a mess.
You're welcome for that mess. We did that.
Oh, wow.
All of it.
Every single thing.
I feel like we're responsible for that mess.
Some of it.
I mean, some of it. A lot of it.
Some of it. I'm
Some of it.
specifically talking about the mess of the line down the whole
Oh.
town, and it's
I don't know how long that's
divided.
been going on, so if that's new to you, then
Oh,
that's a
it's
bigger
new.
mess than you were bargained for.
Starting off on a good note, the session just peters out from here on out.
Well, at least someone knows how to play the game.
That's
Hey,
welcome
I have a book.
experience.
Wow, that was like that was such a vague but also targeted burn. That I'm impressed. Well done,
No,
Nana.
it's fine. I know what.
Myself!
I felt
I
it
know
was
who I'm playing
targeted
with.
at the ones of us who were leveling up moments before we went live.
Yeah, like me.
It just means it's fresh in your minds. The party
Yeah.
is now level 3 as of, in some cases, 4 minutes ago. Once again, we will be playing this particular setting of this session, I should say, with the heart reveal that I have as a religion I'm giving to my players. Again, because the religion levels up differently from the party, I'm a little higher level, and at this point I am allowed to choose reveals. I can see their face. You're aware of this, right? I can use reveals and benedictions from different colored Ryujin. And I've chosen to supplement the blue Ryujin in a little more from my original green Ryujin, which means focusing a little more on relationships and people supporting each other or falling in love and leaving the party. So my players have markers, and when one of their fellow players does something cute or adorable or just really in character, they can give a heart point to one of their fellow players, and that player can then use those points as free fumble points. So if you're very nearly making a check, you can slide into that pass-fail area. It's already been useful once or twice. Last little thing, Henry. since you're pretty much being dropped in the middle of a day in a minute, and I don't want to break the flow of your introduction too much, could you roll me your condition check before we start?
Sure. Strength books plus? I can't remember. I've
Strength
totally played
spirit.
before.
You've totally played before. It's Strength Spirit.
Totally played before.
I ask it every week. It's okay.
I wait
It's on
for
it posted on my monitor by now. I mean,
I wait for Lana to ask so that I can know too.
I got an 11.
you're doing so well
Oh,
today.
wow.
You can improve
wow.
one of your dice.
Hey, I will improve my spirit so I can try and get through this mess.
Additional resolve.
Very good.
I love them already. We must protect them.
All right. Waden, would you like to give us our recap while I give you some background music?
Yes. So, I'll be reading the journal entry from our previous session to help catch us all up. So, today was a mixed-up day. Juniper had a lot of success in trading her goods here in... what was the name of the town again? I didn't fix it in my journal.
Koriko.
Koriko.
Oh yeah, brief shout out for what I've been a little muddled. Things have been a little weird behind the scenes. I said the town name. I know it was at least wrong in one tweet. I've used, I think, 3 names for this town at some point. This town is Koriko. Whitecap,
Yes.
which has been mentioned before, is a town on the south tip of this particular landmass that has been mentioned in the letter Hannah got from her pen pal.
Yeah. So, Koriko is our nice little town split down the middle. So,
Correct.
Juniper had a lot of success in trading her goods here in Koriko and turned a considerable profit. With that level of success, she's even left an impression on Selka, the shopkeeper in town, which is also great. So great that Selka wants Juniper to go into business with her, setting up a permanent trade route between Koriko and Scarlet Pond. And Juniper said yes, which I'm very excited for her finding purpose on her journey, and I believe it's going to lead to much success for her, but I am very sad to see her leave us. We agreed to take Sven with us, and eventually on to Crystal Chime, back home, since we know he hates the swamp. We took our time to say goodbyes in our last night before Juniper left to head back to Scarlet Pond in the morning. Even with the cloud of Juniper's departure hanging in the air, our stay at the inn was exciting. We stayed on the side of town where animals are allowed, and there were goats, chickens, and a large humpbacked animal called a camel. Fern taught me how to feed the goats, and the innkeeper was so overwhelmed with caring for all of them, they actually let me take one with me. I don't know what I'm going to name him yet. For now, I believe it's Admiral, Sergeant, Captain Fuzzy Bottom. I'm not sure where he's ranking currently, but Fuzzy Bottom it is. And I don't know what I'm going to do with him, to be honest, but he does seem to like me. We met up to visit Aunt Madeline, and a small elderly man answered the door. It seemed like Aunt Madeline was very busy, and it might be difficult to make time, and we needed to speak to her soon. And what happened next derailed any plans of approaching this meeting with tact or decorum, as our 2 goats, and the elk even joining in, began to feast on the shrubbery in front of Madeline, descending the morning into chaos. And I believe that's where we left off.
It is.
I did rein them in at the end. I told them
You
to
did.
stop.
A little bit.
Sadly, Inez isn't here to tell you this, but quick check-in. She would share this with you. Lily was the only one to pass a certain perception check and spotted a small dragon on the roof of the inn, silently mocking her. Considering Lily's temper, there is... I'm channeling Lily here. She's just going, "You little..." And she just sort of stomps off towards the inn, leaving you behind in the dust.
But she was the one that... Lily!
We needed her to talk to... Well, actually, maybe she doesn't need to talk to her. She didn't really want to cause a commotion, so maybe it's
That's why
for the
we're
best for now.
here.
But we know what we need to do, and tell them. So maybe we can set up a meeting and we'll find out what she
I
is
think
doing
you
later.
should go. I'll hold the animals.
Go with Lily or go talk to...
No, talk.
Oh.
Yeah,
no, of course. Talk to Madeline. Is the old man still at the door?
Oh no, he closed the door.
Oh,
It briefly informed you that what you wanted wasn't possible?
do I knock? I don't know it.
Why don't you let me quickly just try and see if I can set up a meeting? Since he has already seen you, he might say no to you.
Oh,
Just
okay.
regardless if you had said anything untoward to him or not, you were also in the presence of Lily while that happened, so it might not give a good impression. So why don't I try from my end, and then we see if perhaps someone around here could perhaps give us a clue as to get a better in with Aunt Madeline if that does not work out.
Okay, I'll go help Fern with the goats, I guess.
Please.
I'll go over and pet Sergeant Fuzzy
Sven
Bottom.
is starting to wander over towards the nearby rose bushes.
Sven, no! Come on.
No, Sven, over here. Come
This
on.
way.
Alright, sorry. Angela plays all the animals. I forgot. I got carried away.
No worries. I just want you started doing it and then I remembered, oh wait, that's my other job.
That's your other
Yes.
job.
I did
Switching hats.
Hustle, economy, have to do whatever you can.
At some point, your group would see a cute little ferret running on the side of the town that does not supposed to have animals, heading straight for your group.
Wait on! We're gonna adopt this one too!
What is it?
And,
It looks so cute.
And following after is a young man, probably about 18 or 19. He's got tan skin, kind of weathered, like he works outside a lot. Dusty blonde hair and like wearing a little cap with a little flower brooch on it. And he is wearing a blue and orange flowered Hawaiian shirt.
I love him already.
Pip! No!
It's yours?
Madeline's gonna kill you!
Is this yours?
I try to scoop up Pip, and yes, he is mine.
Oh! Would you like to play with our
Pip does that
goats?
ferret thing where you have him in your hand and then he just sort of flows back out because they're liquid like cats.
Clover, look! Someone to play with!
Oh, I'm really glad he came towards you, but he really should not be out. Madeline is going to have a cow.
Poor dog.
She doesn't have a cow, I think.
Puppy, come here.
At least not on this side of the town. Hi, I'm Henry.
Hi, I'm Fern. This is Clover. This is Sergeant Fuzzybottom. That's Sven, not the roses. Come. This is Hannah and Waden, and Lily is chasing after something.
Hi.
You can literally hear Lily swearing from somewhere behind the inn.
She has issues.
Are you laughing at me? I will.
Waden is just looking at Henry and a little flush and not really. He kind of starts to put out his hand and kind of takes it back and Lily and
So you know Madeline, Henry?
Yes, I'm actually was looking for your group. I heard we had some travelers in town.
well,
You found us!
I would have shaken everyone's hands, at least I could have. I probably grabbed your hand pretty quickly, Waden. How do you say it?
Waden.
Waden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking for you. I heard we had travelers in town.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
that's
and
us.
you know Madeline because we need to talk to her apparently. I don't really know why, but everyone seems to want to talk to her because they think we should fix old things. I don't know.
Trying to get a meeting with Madeline has been very difficult. Yes, I do know her, but she's crotchety. She's very busy.
Do you have a good relationship with her, or are you just someone else part of the town who knows of her?
I live here. She used to babysit me when I was a kid, so I kind of know her pretty well. But since she got elected as representative, she and she and the other representative have not been getting along.
But she's your babysitter, so she'll probably want to talk to you.
I can try.
Well, yeah.
If you would like to come with me, I was about to try and talk with her, or at least try and see if I could get her.
I could hold your ferret.
I look around.
As you say that, you notice that your ferret is nowhere to be seen.
Oh, not again.
Oh dear.
Fern is very good with animals, so she could probably find Pip, and we could go talk. I could go with you, and we could talk too. We could talk.
Sure. I was actually gonna. How long have they been here?
I think
Like
it's
Day and a half.
Yeah.
One night, day and a half ish. You got here fairly early. Spent the day doing very little, apart from Juniper, who made the sale of a century. Slept, and now late morning with all the wandering around and the heartfelt goodbyes and.
There were feelings took up an entire.
Oh, there was a lot of feelings.
That's
Hours of feelings.
Yeah,
You
that's
had a
why I'm
feelings day.
imprinting on you, because I miss my friends, and now I'm imprinting on you, and I need you to be my friend.
Mentioned Mare's a guest player, correct?
I know, Fern's gonna cry.
Oh god, again.
We're gonna earn our heart points today.
In the meanwhile, you hear from inside the house that you're standing in front of. What's the fuck, red
Thanks, Pip.
That's
You hear ceramic shatter, and you see Pip scampering down through some vines along the side of the house.
I think I found your ferret.
I think we're gonna have to talk to Madeline, whether we
Yeah.
want to or not.
Oh
Exactly.
gosh, she's gonna kill me.
Well, Henry, why don't you come with at the very least Wade myself? If Wade would also like to come along. If you
Yes,
think
yeah, oh,
it
yeah.
would be best.
I'll just stay here with the animals.
Actually, well, Fern, I think you would be one of the best in this case to come along to help us to be the person who is best with animals to help offer that for Madeline as well, and might also.
I know, but if I'm holding 2 goats and an elk, it may be counterproductive. You know, just
Not
against
helpful.
the use. Yeah.
I see what you mean. That's true. Would you like
You're
it to
also
just be
getting-
us?
You're getting angry stares from the people with the little collared jackets for having this many animals on this side of town. Some of them
Oh, I'll
starting to
smile
walk
and
towards
wave.
you.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's fine.
They're with little clipboards.
Maybe while we all go talk to Madeline, you can bring the animals to the other side of the inn? So we don't-
Sure, if you think that's best.
Probably so you don't get in trouble.
And here, let me. Waden is gonna reach behind him and grab a couple gold coins and hand them to Fern. Just, I think they might still be hungry. I don't know if we fed all the goats this morning, so if y'all need anything,
Okay, I'll go shopping.
yeah.
Come along, Sven.
Sven takes a giant bite out of the rosalia bushes and follows you.
I say he's a good boy and you can come with me. Can I take the ferret as well?
If he decides to go with you.
You can,
You can sit on my hat.
Ferret is currently mainly hopping from lieutenant, sergeant, captain, fuzzy
Lance
bottom to Clover and back.
Rear Admiral Fuzzy.
Rear Admiral Fuzzy Bottom to Clover and back.
That makes
Oh,
sense.
that's fun.
This goat has gotten promoted faster than anyone I've ever heard of.
Come
He's
on,
very
animals.
accomplished.
Yep,
Okay.
go with Fern.
I gave you
I'm
5
just waiting
gold
for Fern to start
pieces.
little crocheting
Fern.
little medals for the goat.
Alright.
Alright, so Fern, we will get back to you soonish. Waden, Henry, and Hannah. Who takes the lead on it?
Has anyone come out of the house, like, following the crash inside?
Someone slammed a window shut. And that's it.
I don't know. I think just knock again. I'm not sure the proper.
Why don't I try? Unless Henry, is there a more formal greeting in the town to coax?
No, we're just simple country folk. Knocking's probably the best.
Anna will just very gently just rap her knuckle on the door. Apologies for the delay in saying that. I was looking up military ranks.
I understand. I mean, I've been there. The same old man as before will open the door, only this time he's also holding one of those really old-fashioned quick brooms, a dustpan, and an even more annoyed expression.
Good morning, sir.
And he looks behind you. Henry, when I saw that ferret, I knew you were home.
Yeah, sorry. Is Auntie Madeline home?
She's very busy, and Pip didn't help.
Sorry.
Well, we were hoping, if possible, if I might be so bold as to suggest, to offer a service to Madeline, if it might perhaps gain us a bit of her time. I realize she's a very busy woman, but given my particular set of skills and her rather exquisite taste for order and such, and how she would like things decorated around this section of the town, I thought I might offer something in the herbology department of affairs, if she would like some help with that, if she might give us some of her time.
I think the only thing that would free up Maudlin for the nearby future, with all the respect, ma'am, would be if Henjin finally acceded and accepted becoming vice representative, and would just leave Maudlin to do her work in peace, instead of obfuscating her at every turn.
How has he been obfuscating her at every turn?
Every time she wants a perfectly reasonable addendum passed, he blows up and will dig metaphorical trenches, and every bigger. Henry will tell you, I have sweeping to do.
My apologies for disturbing you, sir. I simply wanted to offer my services if it might get us some time.
It is perfectly fine. Look, as said before, I can pencil you in for anywhere between 2 and 6 weeks.
Well, unless Waden, don't want to keep going on that thread unless Waden has something to add.
I just 2 to 6 weeks seems like a long time. Is there? Maybe we could.
It's when the next council meeting has concluded. He's preparing for the next meeting, just as Henyon surely is.
Well, we would be happy to talk to Henyon, and we could even maybe do that today if we could get just a list of what Madeline wants and needs, and maybe we could do like a working lunch with Madeline. We'll take her out for something to eat and talk about what she needs and take it to
from
Henyon.
Everywhere in town. Lawns will be no longer than 2 inches. Vegetation will only consist of naturally occurring, seasonally correct plants. Blooming flowers are subject to committee approval. Siding of sheds may only be spring green, ocean blue, or the correct shade of petrol. The town representatives will be 4 people, and by representatives we don't mean Maudlin and Henyon, we mean the council. Henry can explain to you how their system is. Equally distributed among men, women, with a preference for people over the age of 50 to pay due respect to the wisdom that comes with age. Fisher people will have first choice at market because of their vital importance to the town. People of sound body and mind will volunteer or be chosen to volunteer to assist the elderly and infirm with upkeep of their houses and properties. I think those were the ones Henyon had the most difficulty with. If you can get to an agreement on those, I'm sure Maudlin will be perfectly happy to give you oodles of time.
Can't we come to some kind of compromise. It's really skewing to the elder folk.
Well, they've been ignored and marginalized, frankly.
So the best way to do it is to marginalize the younger folk?
We tried to come to an agreement, and Henyon only came up with more ridiculous rules, and which is why we decided to rule the way we do now.
Oh.
Every time we come up with a perfectly reasonable rule, the other side pulls some kind of ridiculous stunt, and emotions flare.
It's only half reasonable, though.
Could I?
Listen,
Look, we were perfectly willing to go with Henyon and allow people a few more animals in their yard so they could have chickens for eggs. And the next thing that happens is a complete herd of sheep is in Maudlin's room eating her favorite Afghan.
Could I?
I think... Go ahead.
Just a quick. Waden will ask a quick question to Henry as an aside. How old is Henyon? I don't think we've met him.
He's about our age, my age. Late 20s or late teens, early 20s.
This makes a lot more sense suddenly.
Yeah.
We may need to talk to Henyon, and yeah, compromise will be difficult, but I am fairly well versed in the political side of things from, well, it's what my father did for years, and well, kind of trained me to take his place eventually, so I think it's something in my wheelhouse.
I think having an outside perspective, people not from Kuriko, will definitely help. Which is why I tried to find you as soon as I could, as soon as I got back.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be happy to help you.
We'll go talk to Henjin.
By all means.
We wish you well
You know where he
with your day, sir, and with the cleanup.
And thank you very much for your time.
I mean, quite welcome. And ma'am, if you do want to volunteer more time, we do have a committee that decides what vegetation is acceptable should you wish to serve on said committee.
Oh, well, that's most appreciated. I'm currently on my journey for other personal affairs, but I will see what I can do to offer my services while we are here in town.
Wonderful.
Thank
I do believe
you.
they meet over brunch.
Brunch sounds fantastic. Thank you for your kindness.
Closes the door. You can just hear him sweeping up ceramics again.
Sort of get a few feet away from the door. Well, it's far more restricting.
Yes,
Restrictive than my preference.
not the most productive meeting, but I think we have something to go on. I think Henyon might be a bit more open to suggestion than Madeline is right now. So
I hope so. I just got back from my journey and traveling, and I wasn't expecting to get home to find a literal line, being drawn from dragon statue to dragon statue across the entire town.
well,
I don't think it's the kind of thing anyone can be prepared for here, so don't worry. Also, just very quick player info question. Are our characters aware, because through Lily, of the dragon? Were we conveyed that information?
You were not.
Okay, just double checking. I didn't want to operate.
Fortunately, Fern's about to run face first into it, so.
Oh! Well, that's convenient.
But, oh yeah.
I mean, she's taking the animals back around the inn.
Oh, you're right.
Speaking of, Fern.
Yes.
Yes. What does it look like when you're dragging 2 goats, an elk, a ferret?
That's it. Well, I don't know the English name for the fairy tale, the Bremer Stadsmuzikanten. Do you know it?
Yeah.
There's this fairy tale with a bunch of animals who make music and they stand on top of each other. And because I thought that Rear Admiral Fuzzy Bottom actually needed a crocheted insignia, I decided to sit on top of Sven with the goats, and the ferret is on top of that. So it looks like that.
It looks like that. Oh, perfect. I mean, that makes what I just said in the little chat even more accurate. You are currently by far the most interesting thing for a certain little dragon to mess with.
Probably.
You're basically your traveling circus is basically walking past Lily as she's swearing at something on top of the inn.
You okay, Lily?
That little.
What?
We all know. Lily tends to stop talking and start grunting when she gets too angry. It's just a whole lot of. As always.
Never left.
I feel Lily on a spiritual level. But as you're walking, are you okay? And you try to look up to where Lily is gesturing. Both Pip and Clover perk up a little, but you as well. You see just this adorable little black and blue dragon on top of the inn. And it seems to be holding this really big book, very like well used. It's clearly been written in a lot. And if you could give me a perception check, which I will tell you what it is. It's Dex and Int.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Your favorites, as always.
For those who do not know, I purposely keep my int at a D4, which is also always funny at these moments. That is a 9!
A 9. Okay, so on the front of the book, the dragon is sort of dangling over Lily's head.
Mm-hmm.
You see Paddyfoot family tree in gold embossed letters.
Does this ring a bell? Because I wasn't here
Yes,
episode.
Caitlin's last name was Paddyfoot, and you were dealing with the Paddyfoot family.
Okay. Is that your book?
You just heard a sort of like, and it just sort of out of sight.
Lily, breathe.
That is what we. I am going back to that spa until I can speak again.
Yeah. I have a goal.
No, just.
If I see it again, I'll try and get it to give me the book.
Either that or punch it.
But he's so cute, though.
Fern, I love you, but for the sake of both of us, I am going to walk away.
That was eerie, by the way. That's
Yeah,
just...
that's.
Yeah.
I closed my eyes for a second and I thought Inez joined the call. I don't know.
Yeah, can I give you one? Because
Yeah.
I'm giving you one because that was like Inez was here.
That felt
Yeah.
like just right at the end. That was the tiniest bit of the lisp that Inez has as well, and it was the most wonderful thing in the world. And
I
please,
did mention because Inez is going to be done with that lisp when her jaw is fixed. I have the
we're gonna
same
miss it.
condition. I just didn't get the surgery, so I even sound like her for now.
we love our Ryujin very much.
So,
Okay, little dragon.
Inez is Lily is stomping off to Bark Avenue. The current spa.
For the third time.
For a third time, because so far the hot stone massaging is doing wonders for her temperament, but just ever so briefly, mainly. The effects don't seem to last. Just gotta just go back to the breathing exercises, the hot stones, and
What do you think, Sven? Should we try and find a dragon or should we go shopping? Yeah, I agree. We should go shopping. Let's see if there are any stores. I just got money for stuff.
Me.
Yes. Little dragon, if you want to play some more, I'll see you. Okay, where is that shop we saw?
well, on your shiny new map that is behind me, but also has been posted in the Discord. Kind of depends. What kind of shop are you going for? Are you going more towards the tradesmen, or are you going to your fellow crafters?
Well,
or
fellow
do you want?
crafters, obviously.
Because the other option is the tackiest of touristy trinkets.
Well,
We're
if
talking painted lighthouses.
No, I want to go to my fellow crafters. That's what my journey is all about. I need to show them my handicrafts.
This is
And
true. You need to convince them of the
theirs.
amazing things that you can do with crochet.
With giant crochet, yeah, it's a thing.
All right. You're heading towards the crafting area then, as my camera quits on me completely, apparently. But why?
Oh boy.
Assume your region is still there. Is there anywhere in particular in the crafting area you want to go? They're a little bit I'm trying to come up with an analogy that isn't as local to where we are as the one I currently have in my head.
And it is?
Echt Club XL.
Yeah.
It's one of those creative spaces where everything is just
not as creative as you want it to be.
No, they're all oddly alike.
Yeah.
For people who think they're unique snowflakes, there's a lot of the same things happening.
I know these spaces.
Yes.
Or I've been around these kinds of spaces. That's
Hello, Tiny Doggo. I'm going to have one more fight with my camera, and I'm going to restart my Logitech USB hub because it's being an absolute trash fire today.
Okay, so I'll get off Sven.
Yes.
And say, okay, you play amongst yourselves. Please stay here. Take care of Pip. Or maybe Pip can show you around the square. I don't know. I need you all back here.
Pip is halfway through. Pip is halfway to the bakery.
Okay, see you back here in 10 minutes. I need you all here in like 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah?
The goats look at you reproachfully, and Sven, being the adorable elk that he is, just sort of half sits down on a bench nearby.
Very good. I will tie the leashes of the goats around Sven, which he will hate me for, but you know, I'm nothing if not opportunistic. I will go into the craft area and try and find the person in charge, as it looks like it's one big studio. Hi.
There's no one really in charge. It's really more like a collective.
Who decides that you make this?
That's mine.
Oh, it's very different. Yeah. I'm on my journey and I'm trying to find people to teach giant crochet to because the world needs more giant crochet. Is there anyone who would be interested in learning a new craft? And maybe I could learn this?
I mean, stained glass is a complex procedure, but you can do corn cob weaving. It comes
Sure.
after corn cob husking, but you can just start with the husks we have.
Yeah, it's like just interweaving, or do you make like special things?
The trick is to really gradient your color patterns.
Oh, okay. And is there anyone interested in the giant crochet? I will just do the full perspective.
Certainly. Let me just go to my other players in this collaborative world-building game and ask your comrades. It sounds more Marxist than I meant it to. Who in this art space is willing to learn giant crochet?
Like in terms of like a name or?
Yeah, name, age, gender if applicable.
It could be someone younger, because I feel like the older people in this town are resistant to new ideas from what we've learned.
Ageist. I like how one conversation is enough to put you on the ageist train. Perfect. Alright, it's a young person. Are we talking like 11 apprentice years old, or more I'm done with school but I'm still finding my style kind of 19?
I think of finding my style kind of thing. Like they're trying to challenge the form.
Challenging the form, great. Boy, girl, indeterminate?
Non-binary.
Non-binary. I will point out the last time you made a non-binary NPC, they are still hunting Juniper.
This is true.
Oh. Well, we can't
Nate?
help with that anymore.
True. Out of your hands.
I
Nate,
warned her!
we all did.
The lesson we're learning here is that Fern is usually right. We just don't actually listen to her enough.
That's accurate.
Well, it
Yeah.
does sound like Juniper, though, has made bank and can pay that fine now.
She intends to find out how much that fine is and then send the money back so they'll stop looking for her. So do you have an excellent idea for a name, or am I just buying more stock in Fantasy Name Generator?
Give me a second.
All the time.
Nico.
Not I. Oh, yeah.
Nico.
Nico?
Yeah.
Perfect. Alright, so Fern, you are being directed to a little more the front side, where I have a little open space that opens out into the square. So if you wanted to, you could in fact still see Sven sitting on a bench. He's actually, they're not sure where he got it, but he's eating one of those woven baskets Juniper sold here. And you're directed towards Nico, a 19-year-old person who is currently, rather than weaving the corn husks into a regular pattern, they're doing something very Escher-esque.
Ooh, Hi, Nico. I was told you were interested in my craft. I am Fern Chrysanthemum Griffin.
What is your craft?
And my craft is giant crochet. And this is my crochet needle. It's really large. It's really easy to make. You just need like a small tree, like 2-3-year-old tree, and make a hook on it, and then you can crochet statues even if you like.
How does a crochet statue stay up?
Well, it's more like seasonal statues for like festivities, and that's how you make bank, because I have learned about money, and it's very important. Then you can sell one every year.
We have many festivals. I could sell many a year. Show me this statue.
Okay. Well, you have corn husks. Do you? And I see you're weaving with them. It's fabulous, by the way. You'll have to show me. So I gather you have like a long strip made out of small strips.
Many, yes.
Okay. Well, let's just go cut down a tree and get you a crochet hook.
We must have permit to cut down tree.
You can use mine and get a new one when I leave. Okay, well, I will show...
Once again, you spread the gospel of giant crochet.
Yeah!
Hang on. I let you get away very easy last time because you were dealing with someone who already also did knitting. You're starting pretty fresh with Nico.
Well, crocheting is very easy. Come on.
Can you... Oh, that would be too cruel. I think we said before that your job checks aren't double-int because it's really also very dex-based.
Yeah.
So roll me... You're making it like an actual statue, like we're talking 6-foot crochet statue here, or
Statues
what's the
don't
actual
have to
plan?
be 6 feet, and as I am teaching and only have like 45 minutes before the animals get rowdy, we will do a bust.
At best, yes.
We will just do a bust.
Dexit.
I shall pray.
And who is the statue of?
Me, of course.
I just needed to make sure. It was that or Clover,
No, Clover's running around.
Oh, no.
You made that face once before and it was awful.
No, that's not a...
Well, I rolled a 3 on my d4. And a 1 on my d8.
Yay! So a 4 is
It's the only thing I'm good at, and I'm failing again and again.
the corn husks are a little different than like the reeds, which is a little different than your yarn. So you're kind of.
It's just.
I like to imagine as you're crocheting, one of the animals is eating the other end, and you're running out of yarn or corn
I was
husk.
about to say, your statue just sort of disappears as, like, you're making a bust. So excuse the terminology, but as you're trying to finish your hair and your hat, suddenly the statue starts sloping forward as Rear Admiral Fuzzybottom has your left boob and Clover has your right boob, and they're happily munching away.
Yes, you can see like the theory of it. Best to do on the other side of town where the animals are not permitted to roam around, But in theory, this is really nice, and you could also use less edible materials, maybe.
I see theory, yes.
Yeah, good. Yeah. So maybe some weaving now. You can teach me yours.
Perhaps goats go away first.
I'll try. Sven, could you take the children?
Sven will just sort of meander over, and Clover will hop on his back and do the thing where she tucks her little feet under. And Rear Admiral Fuzzybottom is just sort of looking like you've never seen a goat look even remotely nauseated, but with what he's eaten in the past, like, hour, he's just looking like he's having this little burp. He just looks a little miserable. He just sort of follows Sven.
I did crochet him a medal.
Oh my.
You did crochet him a medal.
I adopted this goat and have done nothing to take care of it.
He goes to eat the medal, and before he takes the first bite, he has a little belch again, and he clearly decides against it and just sort of shambles after Sven, clearly regretting his choices in life.
I'm still training the goat, Nico. Yeah, it's his first day with me.
First day as a goat.
With me as his trainer. Anyway, so
His first day as a goat, we've now invented polymorph.
As a goat with me.
Yeah.
Okay, so geometrical cornhusk weaving.
Yes.
With optical illusions, I love it.
Yeah, he basically starts weaving, you know that optical illusion with the black and the white birds?
Yeah.
He basically explains just how important it is to really, when you're doing those, it's color blocking, not gradient. So you spend like an hour on black and white color theory.
Awesome.
I will... Bad Ryujin, I cleaned my desk. I should never clean my desk. I was organizing my dice by color, and then I realized I have some colors more than others, so I started ordering the dice, and I decided I really shouldn't. But they're actually downstairs in the color wheel, so I'm actually going to roll digital dice. Courtesy of Roll20, of course.
Shout out. Oh.
Wait, Anika's rolling digital dice? I think
Yes.
our Ryujin isn't here anymore.
I'm secretly.
Again.
He does a passable job of teaching you corn husk weaving.
Geometrical optical illusion cornhusk weaving.
Exactly. There's a lot of sentences I never thought I'd say until I started playing Ryuutama. One of them.
Do you maybe have like a card or like a token? Because when I was in the swamp, she gave me this gorgeous folded dinner, which kind of moved. It was like a bee choice, less easy to sell. It looks like a tree, but it will eat you.
Dinner. Yes.
And she just gave me one.
Wait
she
here.
couldn't really sell.
And they sort of, in the Netherlands, Nico is a complete boy's name, so I keep reminding myself that Nico is not a he. They go to the back and come back with it's very finely woven, like the corn husks you've been using are almost whole. This one's been made out of kind of tiny strips, almost fabric-like, and you get a bird that shifts from black to white midway through.
This is amazing. Thank you so much. I have a crocheted a card because I was inspired by the note I crocheted. So I've been crocheting some like name cards for myself.
Mm-hmm.
They say Fern and my town.
I will take this.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I'm gonna take the animals because I think they need some walking time.
Perhaps some more supervision.
Well, you need to leave them be. Anyway, thank you, Nico. So great to meet you. Good luck with this. And can I just say one thing? You're making like really cool stuff, and they're all making the same stuff. So don't start making what they think is pretty.
Yes, I learn what they make. I become master.
But what you make is way more interesting, and not everyone has to make the same. So you can master that, but still make your own things.
I will hide it from guilt, yes.
Okay. Bye.
One day I will make a non-subversive NPC, but so far they're all rebels. I can't help it.
This is good. Yay!
Right.
Fern learned another craft.
You're learning so much.
This is the thing.
Meanwhile, with Hannah, Waden, and Henry, what was the decision in the end? You're gonna go find Henyon?
We're gonna go find
Yes.
Henyon.
Well, you know where he lives.
Yes, Henyon's across the town on the animal approved half.
Yes.
I haven't actually seen him yet. I haven't seen him in a while since I've gotten back, so see how this goes.
Well,
I'm actually really surprised that there's a tie this year. It's the first time it's ever happened.
very interesting. How did you know Henyon?
Oh, we're childhood friends.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. Well, it seems like you're the perfect person for us to meet today. Is there anything we should know about Henyon as far as, we're going in to talk to them, hopefully try to convince them to do something they don't want to do. So, I don't know if there's anything you should warn us about ahead of time or anything that might be helpful.
He has good work ethic, very passionate. He's got really pretty eyes, really strong. A good appetite, because the tiebreaker for like the contests to choose the representative is a corn eating contest, which is I'm really surprised Maudlin tied Henyon with.
That's I think maybe more impressive to hear that Maudlin held her own. Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, his house is this way, and I'll start.
Henry.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, who determines? Is there an official counter for amount of corn eating for the tiebreaker sort of contest?
Yeah. So the tiebreaker is you eat as much as you can, and how much time it is, and they ate the same amount of cobs. I heard.
Down to the last kernel.
Maudlin must have really wanted to win.
She seems passionate. They both do.
Or spiteful. Both seem to work for people.
I guess two sides of the same coin, huh?
That's a remarkably insightful comment.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, his house is that way.
Okay, yeah, lead the way, please.
Let's see if a friendly face will make him more amenable to talking with us than with Maudlin.
Oh, hopefully.
I'd like to retroactively, by the way, give one of my heart tokens to Fern for getting her statue eaten by 2 goats.
I also would like to do the same.
One for each boob.
Damn it. Me.
every time, Angela, every time.
Henry's sweetness is it's either going to be Henry's just general sweetness, or it's going to be Anik saying something that's going to break me this session again.
I have a
And then
token
it'll
for.
break me again.
We'll race for it.
I have a token for Fern for the wonderful badge for Admiral Fuzzybottom that she's crocheted in such a short amount of time. Really impressive, honestly.
It's hanging on her hat.
It is.
Lana, you can't be this adorable. You really can't. It's too much.
Just a little heart token.
Right. So Henry unerringly leads you to Henyon's house. Do you take him to like the official business front door, or more like
I feel like he's probably not inside.
going through the yard,
I feel
knowing the back door is unlocked anyway?
Yeah, but also we got more than just me. We also got Waden and Hana as well.
Yes.
So I think I'll lead them to the front door instead.
Okay. Dogs in the background because once again this is the animal side of town.
Yeah, that's just an environmental sound.
There's probably 2 dogs, a sheep, a cow.
Camel wanders by again.
Oh, wow.
Alright, you knock on the front door, I assume?
I'll knock and I'll take a step back to stand next to Waden and Hana.
You hear some swearing at dogs in the distance. Before the front door opens and you see Henyon. If we're just going to briefly put aside the Henry filter, you do in fact see someone early 20s. He's pretty short, but he's pretty stocky build. Regardless of Henry's personal opinion, he really does have nice eyes. Currently wearing fairly flowy, what probably used to be a white blouse, but there's a number of questionable marks on it. Pretty standard pants, no shoes, and long hair in clothes. Henry, I heard you were back.
Hey, Enyon. Long time no see.
He'll walk out of the door and give you a big hug.
Awkward. Whole hug. Yeah, long time no see. I'm showing some of the travelers around town, and they had some questions for you. And I look at Wade and Hana. Right?
Yes, I waited San Clemente the second. Nice to meet you, Henyon.
Yeah, no, pleasure to meet you. I must admit, I mainly opened the door because I saw Henry. I am very busy. I'm preparing for the next town hall.
Well, we actually wanted to...
Those are not mine.
That's mine. I don't know what...
It wasn't me this time.
That works in and out of character for him to say that.
Yes.
We actually were hoping to talk to you about the next town hall and maybe assist in bridging a gap in communication between yourself and Aunt Madeline, and hopefully work out some sort of less tenuous agreement than the current situation that the town seems to have found itself in.
You can call it a gap in communication, but when she says one thing and then I find documents in my own workroom that say something else, I already know I can't believe her.
Well,
What sorts of documents?
A ridiculous rule book about vegetation and color schemes and what was it again? The size of someone's garden being determined by the amount of people living in their building.
She said, it was her husband, right? That was.
Yes.
Yeah. Uncle said that apparently one of the rules was grass can't be longer than 2 inches.
Look, originally the suggestion was we should keep the lawns tidy, which went well with the rule that there would be more animals in town, And then suddenly I find this ridiculous list of demands, and before I have a chance to confront her about it, she comes storming in some ridiculous rage about a sheep eating her blanket. Just make a new blanket, it's not that hard.
Well, actually, that does give me an idea. We could make a new blanket. Well, we know someone who could make a new blanket. That might
You're
be
clearly a very practical young man, but I think we're past the point where the physical blanket is the issue.
I just meant as a more symbolic peace offering to open a conversation. It seems like the communication has broken down to a point that it's more reactionary than productive. So I think something that could open a table for a more neutral talking ground in this next town hall might be helpful.
Just saying, everything started out perfectly fine. We were cooperating quite well, considering our differences and the incredibly strange way this all happened. I just don't feel like I can trust Madeline at all. A lot of strange things have been happening, and always just around the time that Madeline had a new rule to push through. Through? English is hard, sorry.
Very fair.
Kind of strange
Yeah.
things have been happening.
Look, that herd of sheep that was eating her blanket were in her house, even though all the doors and windows were locked. Tell me how that happens. That document I found, she claims it's not at all her handwriting, because it's apparently in a language she can't read. Clearly lying. Some kind of book she apparently needs really bad went mysteriously missing. Again, from her locked house.
That's really odd.
It
Or
is.
untrue.
These are strong accusations, so I would want to investigate it further. That is, I guess why we're here. It wasn't clear at first, but having spoken to both of you, I think we've learned a lot today that I think, honestly, we could help with. We have a very diverse group of travelers here with a lot of different skills, and I think that might just be what this town needs, is a little something new.
I was hoping that some outside Kuriko perspective, would have helped a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, I understand, Henry. You must be so torn.
Yeah.
Henyon.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Hana.
Anna?
It is.
I'm sorry.
Pleasure. No. That is a fault of mine for not introducing myself properly. Waden, San Clemente, as he has introduced himself. Obviously, you know Henry. I am Hana. I am. Let me start over. Henyon, I would assume you are a very sensible person, correct? This is not a difficult claim to agree to, yes?
I'd say I have a good head on my shoulders.
All right, you're practical, yes?
Yes.
Well, so it sounds like to me from because we've spoken to Madeline. It sounds as though.
I've been trying to talk to Madeline for weeks.
Oh, you have? Oh, well, I get the sense.
I can't get past her husband.
Huh.
We only ever see each other in town hall for some reason.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, that's really.
Well, may I offer my particular perspective on this, if you allow an outsider to speak on this?
Please.
Thank you. I don't want to assume I'm allowed to speak out of turn, but
perhaps, but though, inside.
Of course.
Oh.
So do we go inside the house?
You get invited into a fairly comfy kitchen.
Wonderful. Henyon, so it seems to me, based off of what's happened, that the, how shall we say, conclusion that both you and Madeline have reached, given the grievances you've seen, is reasonable. That you feel, rightly so, slighted by things you believe Madeline has done. And she also has expressed, at the very least through her husband, though I have not heard it from her herself, feeling slighted by things you have done. But it seems to me both of you seem confused as to why these are being attributed to you. So,
Well, I certainly didn't put a sheep in her bedroom.
I'm not saying you did. I'm simply saying this is what each of you believes about each other. One
How
conclusion,
would
if
I
we're...
even get a sheep up there?
You know,
I suppose you could carry a sheep.
we've actually had an occasion prior to this where we ended up in a very high location ourselves, all of a sudden.
You've been to Whitecap?
Traveling through a swamp and over in Scarlet Pond, and before we had a run-in. I'm trying to think out of character what's a reasonable line of thought to get to Dragon.
There was yes, I
Yeah, no,
I do know what you're
hanging
talking
just means an
about, Hannah.
entirely different kind of high.
No, I have.
No,
That goes over Hana and goes over Angela as well.
quite literally found ourselves on top of a giant plant
Wait,
that
you
sprung up
too?
overnight. Wait, what do you mean, Henry?
Did you bother a little grass dragon?
There was, yeah, there was like a little raspberry patch, and we stopped to enjoy some berries, and we seemed to.
Yeah, Bridget was not happy on top of a leaf. A
Oh,
giant leaf.
wait,
So
Anyway,
to
sorry.
finish that line of thought, so Henyon, it seems, as we said before, you're a sensible person. That a sensible person would conclude that if Madeline's done this, that's right to be upset at her. But what if, for both of you, neither of you were the ones responsible for what you believe the other's done? Would it also not be sensible to look into that?
Interesting. I mean, I hadn't considered it at all.
Well, you had no reason to consider it. If all the evidence seems to suggest that Madeline's done it, then of course it's sensible to conclude that she did it and it's right to be mad. But we've had a run-in with wait, and it was a green dragon, wasn't it?
yes, it was a grass dragon, I believe. I remember. Yeah, we saw it only for a moment, but I'm fairly confident.
Maybe something's happening around here. Maybe not a dragon, but maybe something similar is happening over here.
Hey, Waden.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Waden. Henjin. My bad.
Waiting got really excited for a second.
It's me,
And is a
other
little
attractive
visibly
20-something.
disappointed.
Can I give you a little token for your adorable flusteredness with Henry?
Please.
So cute.
I also,
Get over it.
I'm giving so I've given one to Fern and giving also mine to Wade, and for this is adorable happening
Yeah.
between you two. I also would
He
like
said
to.
my name.
God, I'm resisting the urge to say Senpai noticed me. This is all the
And
time.
yet you did, right there.
As I claim nothing.
Waden has been stealing many glances throughout this conversation, just over to Henry next to him. Just
Which is really funny because Henry's trying not to look at Henjin.
yeah, Waden picked up on that, and it's very, very diplomatic with Henyon right now.
Henjin,
At least Juniper found her lesbian lover rather than all this will they won't they. Anywho,
why did you split the town like you decided to?
well, it's where originally the two homesteads merged. You didn't pay attention in history, did you?
When you have a lot of crops to harvest, you forget really quickly about history.
It was hard for me to pay attention in history class too. I think the teacher was. I preferred swordsmanship and.
I get it.
Swordsmanship.
Oh, I am classically
On his
trained.
face.
My dears, if you're going to be like this, I can't stay muted and I will be making these jokes. So
That's literally my job.
Waden is
my
exploring a lot on his journey. Okay, we're just gonna put it there.
Uh-huh. Anyway, swordsmanship aside, Kuriko Town was founded when two nearby homesteads found the most fertile land to be in between them, and rather than fight over it, they decided to merge. We drew the line as it is because that's where originally the two homesteads separated, ended before they merged.
And the two statues outside of town are the two homesteads?
Yes, one is, I believe, Ocean Rock, and the other one came from more inland. I didn't pay that much attention. You're well aware. I may not have been chasing animals, but I wasn't always in class.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I guess Hana worded it very diplomatically earlier. I just stopped talking.
Well,
So much blushing going all around.
well, if like Henry said, the outside perspective, I think, is what's going to be helpful here. That maybe there is some other outside force, like Hana mentioned. We've come across other suspicious happenings at the hands of outside forces. I think that's something worth investigating, and well,
I will
the
say,
other option.
considering you're something or some outside forces, apparently them trying to pit me against Maudlin. If you want to end up with Maudlin believing any of this, I need to stay well away from their investigation, because otherwise she's just going to accuse me of maybe whatever.
I think that's probably for the best, that you just stay away while we investigate.
Thank you for listening to us, though. We were able to make more headway in trying to solve the situation and just coming over to talk with you than we have in dealing with Maudlin's husband.
How can I say no to Henry in a Hawaii shirt? No, seriously, this is the
Henry
first time I've seen
outside
him
of
that
a
he
Hawaii
doesn't wear
shirt?
brown.
Whitecap was a very nice place. What can I say?
Well, if you would like, perhaps you should make some time to get to know, to get to spend time with one another again and catch up.
But for now, probably just Henyon can stay home while we investigate.
Yes.
I'd like to help with the investigation as long as I can.
Yeah, we'd be happy to have you. Yeah.
Not a euphemism.
I still need it on a t-shirt just for this game.
Just we have a running set of of just our own campaign specific memes and or quotes that have lasted.
Not a euphemism.
Mm-hmm.
Not a euphemism is stuck with quite well.
I have to say that a lot.
This is a
Some
wholesome
weird
game, and we don't make any euphemisms about anything because it's very
No.
wholesome.
No, when I
That's
say
right.
swordmanship, I mean swordmanship.
I'm proficient in swords.
Yes, exactly. You really know how to handle a sword. And I
Uh-huh.
think that would be a really good moment to go to a break before we devolve into what I can already feel happening. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Break? Good time?
It's not even just you asking for the break, it's the manner in which your eyes light up with eldritch power to indicate, we're going to do this. You'll respect the Ancient One.
Hmm?
All I'm saying, there are certain other eldritch beings that I have brunch with. Alright, guys. 15 minutes?
I thought that was only for the old folks.
The brunch.
How old do you think an eldritch being is? When you've been around for millennia, you're allowed to have brunch.
Clip that, anyone, please. I would like this to be remembered for all the time when you're old enough.
When you've been around for millennia, you're allowed to have
brunch.
brunch.
I mean, secretly, part of summoning Cthulhu is putting just the right mix of mimosa in the center of that summoning circle.
Just a splash
And-
of orange juice.
Accurate.
Like, yeah, exactly. Vodka with like 2 drops of orange juice.
Alrighty.
On that note,
15 minutes, guys.
We'll see you guys in 15.
we'll see you soon.
Have a drink, have a
Stretch,
snack.
hydrate,
Pet your pets.
do laps, pet your pets, mute your dogs.
Alright.
See you soon.
See you soon.
Bye, guys.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. If you get a second during break, you should check out one of our amazing sponsors. We're now proudly sponsored by Roll20, the best virtual tabletop for all your role-playing needs. Over 4 million people use Roll20's virtual tabletop to power their favorite games. And with more modules than you can shake a stick at on their new revamped storefront, you'll definitely find something for your group to enjoy. Sign up today by clicking the link below or heading to roll20.net/start/WTTP. Tabletop Loot is an amazing place to get your dice bags, dice boxes, and more. And now you can get 15% off your purchase at tabletoploot.com by using the code WTTPDICE at checkout. Tabletop Loot. Your party starts here. While you're at it, check out our so awesome merch store, So Nerdware. So Nerdware is the place to find all your Welcome to the Party merch and other amazing stuff too. Head on over to sonerdware.com and use the code WELCOME at checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. So Nerdware. It's what the nerds wear. Devin Rue, the amazing mistress of maps, has kindly supported the channel since the beginning and provides graphics for many of our streams. Head on over to rueinc.com to check out some of the best fantasy cartography on the web. Our Patreon supports the creators and producers of the channel by providing Roll20 subscriptions, cost coverage for video hosting, and more. If you want to support the channel while getting podcasts a week early, gaming articles that are published on Patreon first, a shout out during our break, and more, head on over to patreon.com/welcomepartyrpg and throw us a buck or $5. And last, but certainly not least, help out the party. Subs and bits not only support the stream, but also every 500 bits or a tier 1 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a reroll or system equivalent, and every 1000 bits or tier 2 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a crit or system equivalent. Thanks again for hanging out with us today. The game will be back in just a few minutes.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Welcome back to Dreams of Dragons, a Ryuutama game. I'm really glad I'm the one who gets to start talking, so whatever weird stuff my web captioner had saved is gone first. As my lovely players had a quick say something weird contest right before we went live.
I think I can neither confirm nor deny that this has happened. Ani can put forward claims and we can dispute them fully.
Point of order, my visage is now above Hannah's
I just
name.
noticed that.
Yes, two cameras are swapped.
I will swap those real quick.
Quick, play each
Y'all
other's character.
keep doing what you're doing. This will magically be resolved in a moment.
Herbs. It will probably not work. I'll still like to try.
Have you been to Whitecap yet?
It hurts because it's true.
Listen,
I will say Whitecap offers many medicinal herbs.
Listen, let's not get into who's doing worse at the thing they're supposed to be good at. This will not end well for either of us. Because we'll both be crying by the end of that conversation.
I'm already crying. What can I say? The dice don't love you in this game.
They don't love us.
They really don't. They don't like either of you very much.
Okay, I think there's been a moment where like Lana has been, like Fern has been like compassionate towards someone, and it worked out great for her. And there was a moment in combat where I just stabbed the eye out of something entirely.
Yeah.
We picked the wrong types, obviously.
I know.
Wayden
I
has
mean, and
missed combat.
Fern critically fumbled crocheting a note the same day. Hannah nearly died picking the wrong berry. Fortunately, someone assisted you and pulled you away from the danger zone.
The thing is, not all people on a journey are actually good at things.
No.
They are valid in their failure.
The journey is about growth. And failure is required for growth, so...
It's the good part about, you know, Ryuutama. Everybody goes on a journey, even if you're terrible at it. It just makes your journey a little shorter.
That could be interpreted very darkly.
I mean to just go, oh, this is wholesome.
Hey, and to be fair, Fern has already learned 2 crafts and spread the gospel of crochet twice, so I'm doing fine.
She's doing great on her journey.
Hannah's already learned she wants to go actually see her maybe future girlfriend / person I want to make out with, but I don't want to say it or like move in with because that would be awkward. But you know, if you said that, I'd be so down for it. Like, that's a lot. That's gross.
Can I be the flower girl at your wedding?
I don't care whether or not that was in or out of character. I'm giving you a fumble point just for that comment.
It was in character. Fern would love that.
And Hannah would be so great. That will actually make me, I think I am actually gonna cry over that one. So cute.
Well, that's good because Clover and Sven feel very ignored as far as the bridal party goes. Alright. Attempting to rein in the chaos that somehow happens every week with this group.
What do you mean somehow? This is part and parcel of our group.
When does that chaos just become the new normal?
We're entirely on brand. Wayden has successfully separated Henry from Henyon and have joined Hannah, who is massively side-eyeing both of you. Because Hannah knows these vibes very, very, very well. And you're going to look for a mysterious third party that may or may not have something to do with whatever's going on here. Fern, you've finished your journey to Crochet Enlightenment.
Yes.
For now,
and now
this particular station.
Yes, and now I would like to take my 5 gold, go to the fancy bakery, and pay them for what Pip took.
Perfect. They refuse your money and point out that Henry's parents have a running tab here and have had since Pip came into their life.
I'm not surprised at all.
But those eclairs thingies?
Mm-hmm.
What do they cost?
Well, you can have 10 for 10 gold.
I have 5 gold.
Do you want 5 of them?
Juniper. No, not Juniper.
Okay, hard point. Just
If you fail the next roll at all, I will be surprised.
Lily, and Henry, of course. Oh, then I don't have one. Well, I would love 6 for 5 goals.
I mean, technically we could say Pip stole one.
That would be lying, though. Wait a minute.
It would.
Pip!
See a little ferret scampering around. You look behind you, but you hear him above you.
Pip, could you nibble on one of those, and then I'll eat the rest?
Pip doesn't go for the eclair, but hops us away with the blueberry muffin.
Fair enough. 5 eclairs, please.
Transaction completed. Pip proud of their thievery, as beautifully mimed again by Angela.
I actually hurt myself doing the top, so I hope it's appreciated.
You have baked goods.
I have baked
animals.
goods. I will climb atop Sven again. I will take Clover and Viceroy Fuzzy Bottoms and ask.
We're up to Viceroy now.
And ask Sven to find the rest because I just get lost.
Sven.
It's like 20 buildings.
She's already circled it 10 times last time.
I've gotten lost last time really badly, so.
Oh my.
Yeah. Sven just sort
Sven
of.
is very special.
She is. Sven just sort of trundles off towards roughly Henyen's area. Fortunately, this particular configuration of person and animals is very hard to miss. So you see a stack of animals and person on an elk soon enough as you walk through the streets. Henry, you have Pip scampering up to you, carrying a blueberry muffin, which is already partly eaten.
Oh, hi Pip.
I got snacks. Pip also has got one.
Oh, thank you, Pip. Did you steal this again?
No.
I bought snacks.
Thank you. It was Fern?
Yeah, it still is.
Thank you. The eclairs are delicious and to die for.
They're not poison. They're just really nice, right? I'm starting to get the hang of this. Hannah told me about like word kind of jokes.
Yes, they're very delicious.
Oh, okay, good. Are we eating them here? Are we having a picnic? What's the plan?
What is the plan?
Well, we talked with Henyen, and it seems like the story that Madeline is giving us doesn't necessarily add up with what Henyen is telling us, and we're suspecting there may be some third-party interference with the negotiations going on in this town.
What do you mean doesn't add up?
Well, kind of in the way that we suddenly found ourselves, up in the air on top of a giant plant one night.
Well, that was a dragon, and I just saw a dragon here, so that could really be true. It was a black and white one, and it stole Lily's book, and now Lily's really angry, and I think she went back to the massage place.
It's a dragon.
Black and blue.
What?
Black and blue. Sorry.
You saw a dragon? Wait, what? Here in town?
Yeah. Well, it was on the roof, and it stole Lily's book with all the people who had sex and babies in it. And
genealogy. Oh.
Sure.
Yes.
And then it scampered off again, and it went poof. So I think it's one of those that likes to make fun of you.
Well,
it laughed at me when I said to please give it back. So.
Maybe we should go and look for a dragon somewhere around here in that case.
Do dragons like eclairs?
Is there anything that I know about black and blue dragons? As I tried to remember from my lessons about grass dragons before.
You rolled those on your job skills, right?
I think it was it's one of my noble things that I have, education, refined education. Oh, it's
Loved it before.
it's an
Int,
it's an int skill for
It's
me,
an
so it's
int
gonna go
thing.
great. So don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I did want to give 2 of my points to 2 people who were trying to not show they were infatuated. You know who you are.
And let me see. I did not get a bonus from having a good condition for my intelligence, so it's 2d4s.
You do have a point now if you fumble.
I have some heart points, and I might need them. Okay, I rolled a 4 on one of the d4s, and a 1 on the other one. And I think I'll go ahead and add a point to this, because I do need to... I gotta get something. If a 6...
Would you like to add 2 points?
Yes, I did have another one from earlier. I've
Hey,
been
look,
keeping
you know stuff about dragons.
I
I
would
was about
I'll say
to go very anime, and if you look into Henry's eyes and then make it flash.
I was gonna say that with the 2 heart points on that, it's Waden really wants to impress Henry right now, and so really digs deep into his memory about those lessons on different types of dragons. And
Are the heart points just hearts overtaking?
There's 2
Waden's
big heart
Yeah,
eyes
eyes.
exactly.
right now?
There's 2 hearts there.
2 big heart eyes.
Okay.
As I try to be
So-
impressive.
There's a number of dragons that could be black and blue. Notably a number of weather dragons. But you did hear Henry and Henyon, because you're hanging on their every word, but reasons.
For different reasons.
Talk about a stone dragon statue nearby that apparently has something to do with how the town is currently divided, like how they picked the dividing line, which reminds you of a creature called a cliff dragon. A cliff dragon has almost like a turtle shell, but their bodies are black and blue, and on their shell they grow plants that cling to the stones. And even on their back, they have little pools of water to cover its back. Oh, they basically have like a little mini ecosystem on their backs. That sounds. Not only does the coloration of their body sound familiar, the way the plants grow on the houses here is reminiscent of how the plants grow on those dragons.
Waden says all of this to the group.
What she said. I know. Does this show? Is it gonna mess up my camera again? Cliff dragon.
A little bit. Oh wow.
That's a very old one, by the way. The one you saw was tiny
Like a
and
little
was like very
tortera.
juvenile.
A little Torterra.
It really looked like a baby, so maybe it's just like a bored little kid.
Oh.
Do you
Good.
think dragons like eclairs? I have 5. I was gonna give everyone one, but maybe the dragon would like one.
We
and
could
maybe stop
split
being
it,
annoying.
maybe.
With the dragon?
Yeah. Well, that's.
I don't
a
think
lot-
you should give a dragon half an eclair because they're kind of like annoyed when you. I don't know. I think if we're giving the dragon an eclair, it should be a whole one.
Well, in the grand tradition of breaking bread to make peace, it might be.
I also had half a blueberry muffin that Pip didn't eat, so if they want mine, if they'll take it, they can have mine.
I don't know. I wouldn't feel special if I got like a half a treat.
I have an idea.
Huh?
Yeah, I have an idea. I wonder,
Mhm.
would Anik, would Waden know from his knowledge of it that the flowers the dragon grows are attractive to it in terms of like they're known to actually? Bring
The
them
dragon
closer.
doesn't necessarily grow like blooming flowers on its back. It's more like mosses and grasses.
I wonder if this would work. Let's cover lots of tiny flowers. The caster decides the variety of flower. I'm really glad I picked Anina No-No. As
Surprisingly useful for a flavor spell.
It is remarkably flavorful for romance and possibly getting a little dragon to pay attention to us. But
Should we go to one of the statues? Which one is the? Are they both of the same dragon? Henry?
One's like an overgrown statue near the fields, off towards, probably closer to my place, and the other one is closer towards the ocean and the rocks. And it's kind of like wind beaten.
Well, if we could go by the statue of this dragon, and
I was
maybe...
about to say, they do not seem to depict the same type of dragon.
So which one is like
The rock dragon.
this one?
The cliff one.
Cliff dragon.
Is it near the
Near the
ocean?
ocean one.
Okay, well let's go there and have a picnic and invite the dragon.
Yeah. If you want, we can stop by the shop and grab another eclair for the dragon.
Yeah, that'd be nice because I really want a whole eclair because they look really, really delicious. And I just taught like a teenager how to crochet a bust, and then Viceroy Fuzzy Button started to eat me, and it was really quite tiring.
Wait, eat you?
Anyway, yeah, well, I was crocheting a bust of myself. It's really good.
Oh, I see.
It
You're
starts to
very
make more
skilled
sense.
craftsman.
Did I not make sense? Oh, I'm sorry.
I was saying it
okay,
starts to make more sense the longer you know Fern.
Wayden, money?
Oh, yeah. How much are the eclairs?
Well, I paid 5 gold for these.
Oh, I have another 5 gold.
They usually do a 10 for 10 deal.
Well,
I'm going back and I'm going to get 5 more eclairs because why the fuck not? Oh, no.
They are currently sold out of eclairs. They don't make that many eclairs in a day.
Do you know what dragons
They're a very rich treat, and this is a very small town.
Do you know what dragons like? If you would have to bake something for a dragon, what would you make?
Probably like a fruitcake?
Do you have a
I
fruit
don't
cake?
know. Sure.
I have 5 gold. Do you have a 5 gold fruit cake?
Yes.
Okay, I'll take that one.
They walk to the back, and they box it up very pretty for you. They come back out, and they hand you the little box, and there's this little bow on it that looks just a little grimy and smudgy, like it got out of... You know how those things end up when they are in your drawer for too long?
Oh.
And they just go, there you go, 5 gold fruitcake.
Thank you so much.
Quite welcome.
Okay.
Do come again.
Look, wait, and I got a fruit cake because they said they make that for dragons.
Oh, well, wonderful. Let's have a picnic. I'm starving, honestly. It's been a long day already.
Eclairs. They're melting. Let's go.
Lead the way, Henry.
Yeah, I'll lead the way towards the cliff-top dragon statue.
I will hand Wayden the leash to Viceroy Fuzzy Bottoms because it's his goat.
I'll be watching over Sven and the other goats to help because technically, as quartermaster, I should be watching over them as well. So,
At least some of them a little bit.
well,
Not
point of
Clover.
order. I was going to ask, because we technically have not fed them today. Is it possible to do that right now as we're heading?
Well,
or
we
like
fed
once
them on her garden.
I will...
That's not a full meal.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I'm asking.
I can help with help feeding your animals. I can point out what's good for them to eat and everything. You don't have to worry about it. There's a lot of nutritious grasses around here. And if you don't mind.
For today, we'll let Henry use their farmer powers on the animals, because Henry gets to feed 3 animals a day for free.
Yes.
So
Okay,
that's
I'm multi-classing into that.
You want to become a farmer?
There's a
I
reason Juniper was a merchant.
Story-wise, I already am because I grow my own sheep and goat for the crocheting.
Perfect.
Yeah, I rear them. I don't grow them.
Multi-class
Yeah, I was
about
will
to say.
say, we're getting there.
I'm multilingual. I'm sorry, this is
No,
not my native
No, you're doing
no,
great.
that just made me imagine a goat just sprouting out of the ground like a druid goat
Actually,
of some kind. Which would be
let's not be cats, but I have a storybook in the other room that actually has a goat plant, baby goats, sheep plant, and they die because they can't eat grass and eat
Herding.
Yeah, no.
Towards the
Before we
cliff.
get into that,
And
that sounds much more ominous the way you phrase it, Anik. Cats towards the cliff. It sounds.
I
when it
mean,
comes from you,
let's
it
be
sounds
honest, the way
creepy.
you
For
guys have been
a
going, I don't
picnic.
need to push you off any cliff. You just walk right over the edge and I just watch it happen.
we've
not
never
wrong.
needed help.
Hey,
You
Dragon
never
side
needed help.
picnic.
I just have to sit here. Cliffside
But,
picnic. What's the so there's a dragon statue. It's stunning landscape, gorgeous cliffside. People have been in Ireland would recognize the type of area. Of course, you're not actually in Ireland. You know, bullshit. This-ish. The dragon statue looks like it used to be huge. But it's very much eroded. It's in an area with a lot of wind, a lot of moisture in the air. Everything's like salt spray. It's very eroded, and it's just like currently vaguely cliff dragon. It could also be a deformed turtle.
Also
Well-
been here for a while.
Well, do we just, I guess, leave some fruitcake out and wait?
I think
We can-
we go sit next to the dragon and put some fruitcake out for the dragon and eat our eclairs and graze the animals and
So, Michael, Waden. Some of the names are the other way around.
Oh, sorry.
Waden, yeah, I
Oh,
rely
okay.
for everyone who's watched this ever. I rely heavily on my players having their character names in the Zoom chat because I am terrible with remembering people's names. I just sort of glance and say Michael when I'm sorry. Waden, as you get this box from Fern, and open it again. The box itself is fine, but clearly reused. The bow is a little smudgy. The fruitcake, you could probably brain someone with this. It's as solid as a brick.
All right.
Is
It
that-
looks lovely.
Did they give you old, like 2-day-old fruitcake?
they said this was a 5 gold fruitcake that they would serve to a dragon.
That makes sense.
I will say the
Fruitcakes-
fruit on it looks fairly fresh, but it mainly looks like they made a measuring mistake when adding the flour.
Is it not right? I don't know. I don't really bake.
I've never had a fruitcake before, so I mean, it looks good for a dragon, I hope, if they say so.
If anyone wants to trade this for their eclair, I don't know. I'm gonna eat my eclair because I've been wanting to eat this for like 2 hours now.
Oh, yeah.
So, could everyone having the picnic around this statue please make me a perception check?
Is that in
Dex in.
Dex?
If this game had disadvantage, I'd give Waden disadvantage because I just know he's looking at Henry.
I don't need it. I rolled a 4.
So you're looking at Henry.
I'm looking at my eclair.
I got a 7.
3.
That's a 6.
Wow.
And I haven't gotten any heart points, so
I've never had an eclair before, and they looked amazing. I could make my 3 into a 4, 5, 6, 8. Does it help?
Henry already sees what Henry and Hannah, by the way. 6 is pretty good. So while Waden and Fern are very busy, Hannah and Henry. Too many names that start with an H. You see something sort of speckled beige in between some rocks in the distance. It stands out because everything here is green and brown and blue.
Can we tell what it is?
Not from where you are. You'd have to get up and go.
Does anyone see that?
I do.
See what? Sorry.
There's a little
Mm-hmm.
tan speckly thing in the rocks over there.
Oh.
I'm wondering if... Well, no, the dragon's...
If you're a dragon, we put some cake out for you.
There is no response.
I don't know.
I'll go take a look.
Oh.
Well, if
That's
they want to
fine.
come over,
I'll
they'll
go
come
with you.
over. I'll stay here. Guard the cake.
Maybe be a little cautious. Gently, quietly walk up. Try not to scoop.
Hannah, where are you going?
Yes, I said yes before Fern ended up saying she was staying back. So
Yeah, you're
I'm sorry, I'm not.
it's mainly a little for me. Angela's camera is acting up a little again. I see a lot of delay, so I sometimes kind of miss what you're trying to say.
Sorry about that. The camera's been doing that.
No, it's fine, but that's the only reason I checked because it's a little late. All right,
Yeah,
so
no. Yes, I am joining.
you are joining.
Waden and Henry. I'm letting them take the lead on this.
So as Waden and Henry walk just a little bit ahead of Hannah, wisely staying behind just a little bit, you head over the cliffs. The ground here is very mossy and rocky, and there's little pools everywhere. And as you near this strange thing you saw, you get a little closer. It's bigger than you thought it was. It's partly hidden in a crevice between two stones. But as you get closer, it's very, very obvious. These are egg fragments.
What kind of egg do we? Can we
Well,
tell?
it was about yay big.
Oh.
A dragon egg? Do you think?
Maybe. I don't know much about dragons.
I've never really seen one myself until we saw the grass dragon, and that was only for a moment. So
Like, I've never seen a shell or an egg. Just the dragons themselves. Can I pick up a shell?
Yeah, it's like there's broken pieces, so you can pick a part of a shell.
Yeah, I'll do that.
It's heavier than you think it would be. It's almost like part of it is regular shell and part of it's bits of rock. The speckles are bits of rock. And it's completely dry. Normally there's like yolk and the inside's a little wet if something's recently hatched. This is very dry. There's actually a bit of sand and water in the bottom.
This has been here for a while.
do you think? Well, how long? Maybe since the town got split.
Probably more recent than that because it's much less worn than the statue. You can both, actually all three of you, now that Hannah is there as well, can roll me double int.
Oh,
That's a 7.
I got a
Neat.
7 as well on D4s.
So that's very good, but the target was 8, so Hannah, you would know, at least you can figure out. Okay, so the stone statue has been here ages, probably before any homestead was even founded. The egg is much more recent, and
Okay.
you would have heard the standard tales of how the world was created, and how if the seasonal dragons are fed with enough tales and stories, the weather and the terrain dragons might be reborn from those tales. It's very cyclical. So this might be the place a new cliff dragon was born.
I will relay that information to
Well,
Henry and Waden.
that's incredible. But also, I think maybe we found the culprit, at least for probably some of the strange things going on around lately.
Yeah, but what? Knowing where it came from and trying to find them. Two
Well-
different
I would like to-
things.
Well,
I'd like to very briefly move back to Fern. While you're debating dragons and their cyclical history, Fern, how focused on what remains of your eclair are you? Or is it...
I have inhaled said eclair, so I am now enjoying the view because ocean.
Remind me, was the fruitcake left out for this cliff dragon?
Was.
Where is it from where you are?
Well, I'm sitting next to the statue, so it's like within. Are we saying feet or meters? 1.5 meters.
Within 1.5 meters, so not quite social distancing distance.
No, it's in my extended aura.
So, as you're looking at the distance, because you are one of those people that never seen the ocean before.
Well, I have. I saw it yesterday.
Yesterday.
I mean, come on.
I would assume you're, at least for a little bit, just... It's quite captivating, to be perfectly honest. Until at one point there's something moving in the corner of your eye. And as you look over, the fruitcake is being carried away by a little green dragon.
A green one?
Correct.
Hi, it was actually for the blue and black one. You're fun too. Are you playing tricks on people here?
It just sort of scampers away from you, puts the fruitcake away, comes back, tries to steal an eclair.
No, these are for my friend. Did it steal
and leaves
an eclair?
behind. It did steal an eclair, and it's leaving behind this very nice bunch of blooming flowers.
They
growing from the ground.
Can I pick the flowers and put them in my hat?
Of course you can. Your fruitcake is, however, flowers. Completely gone.
Yeah. I will.
In the place of the fruitcake.
Yeah.
If you look over.
I shall.
Like the flowers were left because the eclair. In the place of the fruitcake is a piece of paper with kind of a root symbol on it.
I guess this wasn't something to give to dragons. They like eclairs. Good to know. Okay, I will grab up the leftover eclairs and go over to my friends with my flowery hat. Hi.
Everything okay? We heard you yelling.
Little complication. Grass dragon came and took the cake and left a root symbol. So actually, not a good cake to give to dragons. I will give this feedback to the bakery. Then it stole one of the eclairs. You'll have to decide who doesn't get one. Gave me these lovely flowers. But that was a grown grass dragon and not a baby cliff dragon. So we're back to square one, I think.
Oh.
Well, I did have an idea. If it's a baby cliff dragon and, well, dragons want to hear stories of our journeys, and, well, Henry, you said you just got back from yours. Maybe, I mean, I'd love to hear the story of your journey, and maybe the dragon here would too.
I'm sure you would, Wayden.
Take another hard point.
I know, right?
So cute.
I could. We can get comfortable.
Oh, well, we have to get away because the hounds are coming, and
Puppy. Come here.
So you're gonna sit here and tell stories. I think that's a good idea. Who would like to offer up their eclair for the dragon so they have something to munch on while listening?
Puppy.
I live
I'll
here.
give up mine.
Yeah, mine too. I can get one another day.
Yeah, you should get one for free because that wasn't a 5 gold fruitcake. I don't know much about money, but I
Personal
think if a dragon...
growth for Fern. This is the first time you've noticed that people are scamming you.
Well, if a dragon leaves a root symbol from a special cake, and I could get 5 eclairs for that money, something's wrong.
We're on to them.
Yeah, let's take a sit down, look at the ocean, and as long as you tell me a couple stories about your journeys.
Oh, we've already had... Waden's already getting out his journal and, like, flipping through, like, oh, we've had so many crazy things happen already, and we're just getting started.
I feel like that happens when you
I could show
start
you my
traveling.
moving dinner.
Oh.
If you talk about the dinners, I'll get out my moving dinner and show, like, an act.
Yes! That'd be amazing.
Yeah. Do you want to go first? Should I go first?
Please, you go first. I want to hear.
Well, my
You
most...
get a side eye from Fern.
Well, my last journey, we went to Whitecap because it's the place past the desert to the southeast. Believe it or not, the waves stopped. Like, the ocean waves completely stopped, and they can't have any surfing contests, which is how they apparently choose their representatives. I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me. It makes much more sense to have a corn cob growing contest, but hey, each town does their own town.
Yeah, very much so.
So we decided to try and help the group I was traveling with at the time, and we took... Have you ever been on a kayak before?
No, what?
We've been on a raft.
Yeah, a raft and a barge, and we've been on manatees, and he's getting, like, a little excited, but realizes he needs to stop talking and let Henry keep going.
Yeah, we did a couple we asked around a bit. It's been, like, maybe like a week or something like that. I don't remember. I did some rooftop yoga. That was fun. But yeah, we took some kayaks to go look at where, like, the currents of the ocean were not right, and they changed. And it turns out there was an injured whale that was there. And
Oh no!
an ocean sea dragon stopped the waves, so the waves weren't hurting it, injuries. And we got the healer, and then the healer healed the whale. And then a friend almost drowned, but that was a miracle that didn't happen.
Dragon, you're missing an amazing story!
But yeah, we got that. I got some cool shirts as a thanks.
I saw.
Along with some weird herbs that I have no clue what to do with.
Oh,
Hannah
Hana.
might know.
Hana knows all kinds of herbs.
Why don't you take a look at his herbs?
She was actually able to find some cool herbs on our journey already, and well, we started looking for herbs actually. We all met in this little
Yes.
tea shop.
You just noticed Hannah's been listening to the story, but she's also been trying to get some moss to grow around the black dragon statue, but it hasn't worked out. It's a little bit moss is a little bit adjacent to kind of what she's normally used to working with, so because of that, it's not as successful, and she just kind of replicates some of the flowers on Fern's hat.
I will point out when Henry tells you the story about how it was kind of a miracle that his friend didn't drown. Could you describe to them how that miracle kind of happened? Because it might sound a little bit familiar to them.
I
Some of
would,
them, not all
I
of them.
would, but myself as the player can't remember exactly how it
Ah,
happened. But
fair
I
enough.
would. But I would.
I will summarize this mainly for Hannah. Henry describes kind of like a dragonish humanoid coming out of the water carrying the nearly drowned friend. And the description sounds identical to the horned being you kept seeing in the swamp before you met the little hedgehog who helped fix after you saw the little hedgehog who helped fix the bumblebee.
Oh.
Fern's not smart enough to make that.
As Fern is shouting, "You're missing a great story," and looking around, breaking away from telling a story. It's getting a little dark here. It's getting a little colder. But nearby, on one of the cliffs, you see a little black and blue dragon. Currently just sitting there, kind of looking at you. And a little off to the right, by a little, I mean, as far away from the black and blue dragon as it can be, but still within hearing range, is a little grass dragon, who is currently munching on an eclair.
Oh, I've got your eclair right here. I'll put it out and walk back. Because, equal eclairs.
Right. Okay, the little black and blue dragon will get a little closer.
I have walked away from said eclair.
He's like in front of this eclair. Tiny little paws. Sort of. And just sort of puts his face in it. And just comes back up completely covered in whipped cream, bits of chocolate. And super confused why the food isn't working. Food is problematic. Why is this happening?
Huh? No? No. Clover, come here. I will set Clover in front of part of an eclair and show him how it's done.
Alright, I think with enough mimicry, this little baby can figure out how to knead an eclair. Of course, Clover eats it in one bite, and the little dragon ends up choking just a little bit. Yes, clearly there are 2 dragons currently listening to your stories.
Okay. Keep talking because they seem to be enjoying it.
Oh, yeah.
Happy dragon, happy life. That's what we say in our village.
Well, we all started in this little tea shop in Maple Ward. That's where we all met, and the tea shop owner was having some trouble because they needed some medicine, like really special, like rare medicine from like the next town over, and we had to travel through this swamp, and Juniper had left like this cart full of fruit on the side of the road, I guess, and got in trouble, but
And then they were going to find her twice.
I don't know if they found her once, but hopefully. I think she's trying to pay the fines. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. And he like tells this kind of disjointed. He'll get like really excited and go off on a tangent and like have to like recenter the story. And
Fern helps.
Yeah. As he goes through, going through Maple Ward and Scarlet Pond and finding the dinners.
Anna's just going, oh, young people.
And I'm going to show the moving dinner.
And
and then it went like this.
What Fern pulls out is like an enchanted figurine of an alligator with a goldfish tail and 6 legs, and it's been enchanted to be able to move.
And it's like a Japanese folding craft.
Yeah, it's originally made of paper. Well, reeds.
Reeds, yeah.
I've met
they got it in Scarlet Pond.
I've met someone from Scarlet Pond before. Is it really nice? His name was Reginald.
Oh.
He was very good at weaving.
I think, Fern was the one who talked to the weavers in the square.
Did I talk to Reginald? I'm really bad at these things. No,
Reginald was still on his journey.
Oh. I think I met his colleague, and I learned how to do this a bit, but she enchanted it, and I can't really do that, but I know how to fold a frog.
It's really impressive.
Yeah, but let me just use the dinner to show you how we saved the bumblebee and the kid, but mostly the bumblebee, because I'm like a puppet doctor in my village, and then there was like a magical hedgehog who was all glowy, and the hedgehog helped me fix the bumblebee plushie, and it was like all beautiful, and then we met all the manatees.
And Henry, yes, it is the stuffed bumblebee.
Where did you get that?
No, it was a kid's bumblebee, and the kid tried to get the bumblebee, but the dinners wanted to eat the kid, and so we had to save the kid. Well, actually, Hannah saved the kid from the dinners, and then I saved the bumblebee, and I fixed the bumblebee with the magic hedgehog.
Like, they have the bumblebee right now?
No, the bumblebee was given back to said child.
The kid has the bumblebee because the kid wanted to die over the bumblebee, so we had to make sure the kid had
To be
the
honest,
bumblebee.
Briar has a very bad concept of what it means to be dead.
Yeah, I don't think she believes in it.
No.
And then we got to feed the manatees, which was really, really a lot of fun. But then they rolled over on top of me because I tried to do tricks, but that's maybe a different story. I don't know.
Your group has definitely been on a impressive journey.
As we get caught up to the now of the story, I want to take out the walking stick that I had found and tell Henry, if one day I hope to have a journey and a story as great as this one, and I want to show her all the like carvings and like tell him like all the things that I imagine this symbol means. It's like they must have seen this, and like this like crafted imaginative story that I've applied to like everything I've gotten off of this walking stick.
You're definitely on your way there.
And I look over at the black and blue one and say, you know the little book you had? I've got another story I could tell you if you give me the book, so I can make someone really, really happy.
As soon as you mention the book to the black and blue dragon, the little grass dragon chucks away whatever else it was holding, perks up and sits forward, and is just sort of staring down that black and blue dragon.
Wait a minute.
Yeah? No?
Little green dragon, do you want a book too?
He just sort of huffs at you.
Do you
I think he might be trying to show the baby dragon how to be a dragon, maybe?
do you two know each other? I'm addressing the dragons.
Okay, so the black and blue dragon is just sort of cowering now that that green dragon started posturing. And the green dragon sort of looks at you with a very, how dare you put me on the same level as this toddler kind of look.
This feels familiar.
What about the book? Are you gonna give it back? Because I have a really good story.
You know, the cliff dragon isn't paying much attention to you, considering it's
Scared?
being intimidated.
I'm gonna ask the green dragon if I green dragon, I gathered the cake was unsatisfactory. I blame the baker. He said dragons like that cake. I will be having a talk with him and then get another cake and leave it out for you. But could you maybe, as you seem to be a way grander dragon than this, I think maybe, get the book back? Maybe?
Green dragon sort of swishes the tail, wanders over towards that cliff dragon, who doesn't have the book with it right now. I think most people on this website have at least seen cats before. You know how a cat, like, it doesn't have its claws out, but there's an annoying kitten and just sort of bats it on the head repeatedly? It just sort of goes and then walks away again.
Oh,
No, wait,
also,
wait.
I crocheted this medal.
Yeah.
Would you like it?
Angela?
Wait,
Hannah?
so the black and blue dragon is doing that to the green one? or
No, the green
Other way
dragon is
around.
doing it to the black and blue dragon.
I think
Seems to
Hana
be
will,
much younger than the grass dragon.
It's being shown how to be a dragon.
Are you?
Um,
Go ahead, Hannah.
I think Hana will try and adjust the green dragon, like try and go like as close as it feels comfortable. Like if it seems like it's starting to like back up or anything, she'll stop moving, but she'll just get closer to it. Are you? In the distance, hounds are baying. I think she will address the green dragon. I'll give Anik a second.
I can listen to you and yell at my dogs at the same time, it's fine.
Gotcha.
I think she will try and address the green dragon, and she will ask, "Do you feel neglected because the other one also needs stories? I have something I can offer if you feel you would deserve more respect and want stories that are far older than even the ones we've told.
Also, crocheted metal.
Sort of holds out his little hands.
The green dragon does?
Yes. More towards Hannah than Fern, I must say.
I will just go to the side and drop it in.
I get the impression that it would prefer. I'm sorry. This camera is killing me.
It's fine,
It's
darling.
okay, don't worry.
It's not either or. You can have both.
In that case, he's sort of like this very long, viney tail with little leaves on it, sort of snakes around to grab the metal while the hands still go towards.
Hana will take out her recipe book with all of the things she's collected from her husband, from all the years they were together, and from her pen pal. This has many more stories in it that are much older than any of the ones we've told. And I don't remember all of them, but maybe you will have more stories to add yourself, or maybe other people. You can leave this here so that people can keep telling you stories.
All the hard points.
And you can share some stories with your friend.
Don't you need your book, Hannah? Don't you need your book?
Giving you all the hard points. by
I
the
would
way.
say all the hard points to Hana right now.
Same here.
Oh my god.
My last one.
I have chills.
I'm also crying, and she cries a little bit, but she keeps a pretty straight face through it, and she's like, "These are good memories, and this is part of what it means to share memories with other people. Sometimes you don't get to be selfish with them. Sometimes you share them to other people who need them, and this place can need them. And obviously, you don't feel respected right now, so why don't if this helps?"
We gave up Juniper already. You also gonna give up your book?
Sort of takes the little book, flips through the little.
And this is for Mare's benefit, and so Henry is aware. This is a giant notebook, like she is it's full of essentially in Ryuutama you get the personal item. I have been reflaving her remembering new magic as her going through the book and remembering old recipes she gathered with her husband who passed away some few weeks ago. So this is like her giving up a pretty significant thing. But it has a lot of stories in it. Like there's a lot of writing and notes and like probably a few love letters tucked in between all of that and such between them.
I will say when I say the dragon takes the book, it just sort of floats in front of it, and flipping through it just means that the pages are being moved with like the ocean breeze. It's far too large for this dragon to hold. Next stream, the dogs will be somewhere else, mostly in a kennel. What you do see is the little black and blue dragon is sort of dragging over the book that has Paddyfoot family on the front. And very uncertainly sort of sidles up to this green dragon. Like read over their shoulder in Hana's book. And the little green dragon just sort of and lowers the book just enough to let the black and blue dragon read along.
I can offer you
I will
one more.
grab the genealogy.
Okay.
In the back.
If you would both like, I can offer you one more story you can share together to know about.
It just sort of hop in together.
Once upon a time, there was someone named Hana, and she was very loved, and she had the best person she could have ever had in the world for a partner and for a husband. And one day, she was out growing flowers and with her husband, and she ran into, almost just by chance, another person who she knew she would love for the rest of her life, even if she couldn't say it as much to her. She was beautiful, she was wonderful, and she was also very clumsy. And she nearly scraped herself entirely going through a whole bunch of different flower patches. She fell into a bed of roses at one point, and she got hurt by a lot of thorns. But I was out that day. My husband Nakia was with me as well, and he saw the look that I had in my eyes when I saw her, And he knew that day that my heart had grown big enough to love more than just him. Not instead of him, but in addition to him. And this started a nice little bit of writing between the two of us. And I wasn't always sure how Akia felt when I started writing to her, because I didn't even know why I wrote so much to her. All I know is every time that I ran out of pen and paper to write, the next day there would always be another stack of paper or ink and such to write with. And Akia would be waiting there with a smile just by the little desk in our home, just saying, "When you're ready, I'm sure she'll be happy to hear from you." He's gone now, but I have many memories here that I can always look back on whenever I like. And now you do too.
The little dragons are completely huddled up together.
Can I give another heart point for the same moment?
I already gave all of my heart points.
Yeah, I think we all just gave.
I think
all
I'm out
our
of heart
points
points.
to
Yeah,
Hana.
just all
I
of
think we're
them.
all they're all Hanas.
Henry is tearing up and crying at that beautiful story.
Fern, being the pragmatic person she always is, well, you seem rather happy with all the stories. Maybe you could help, like, fix the town a little?
I was about to describe how this little cliff dragon was about the size of a house cat. As Hana is just telling all these stories, and mainly as it's looking through this book, it actually seems to grow and get bigger.
It's a bigger dragon!
Now a bigger dragon than it used to be.
So that's how that works.
It is how that works.
Oh.
Flipping through Hana's book. I'm assuming, considering how many years of stories and letters and writings and recipes are in there, Hana, is there at some point a story where two people would have been fighting and then promised they'd make up?
Yeah, I feel like it would have been
So,
probably near the end of the time since she's last written to her pen pal Asuka.
the little green dragon will flip through that particular story, sort of show that section to you. As they start, the two little dragons are facing each other, and they just out of nowhere start handing like each other's stuff back to each other. So the little green dragon gives the little blue dragon this half-eaten Afghan. The little blue dragon gives the green one a list of prescribed vegetation to be grown on houses in this little village. And you very much get the feeling that they were using this village to get back at each other for perceived stuff. They each had a little half. Very, very busy messing with each other. Honestly, the humans were kind of collateral. Means to an end.
Would it be alright if is there some way we can bring a sign of the two of you back to the village to show that this was being caused in this way? Or would you perhaps, and she'll kind of look to the group, but she'll also like sidle closer to the dragon to say, would you like to appear with a little bit of a display in the town, making friends and amends?
The grass dragon doesn't look quite convinced, and the cliff dragon just sort of explodes.
Well, I kind of wondered, this was an idea I had earlier, and she'll sort of make sure that everyone else can hear as she turns in, and sort of like, but for the sake of the blue and black dragon especially, she'll like kind of like hype it just a little bit to just be like, just listen in. I wonder how either half will react if there was a big patch of flowers that suddenly grew right in the middle of where that line is. I'm sure someone would get in trouble. And I'm sure someone would cause a fuss about it. Don't you think?
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, would they be prescribed flowers?
No.
Ooh,
Even
They were
worse.
permitted.
terrible, non-local flowers.
No, maybe a mix.
Oh,
Because the thing is, we don't want to antagonize them further. They just need to see they're being stupid.
We gotta bridge the gap.
Something to start a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't really know. I think you're amazing. You can probably do a lot of things, but maybe you could, like, make the grass grow to 2.5 inch everywhere, so it's not conformist, but also not really wild.
Or something, a problem that will cause them to band together.
Something they'd have to work together on, yeah. That neither one of them could fix by themselves. So they maybe see that a co-partnership is more advantageous than
I think the
being at
dragons
odds.
are smarter than we are. They can probably think of something better than we can.
That's true. They've certainly.
That's how we talk to them, right? Yeah.
yes, you're doing
Okay.
Flattery is always a good
Yeah.
option. Yeah.
And look at the flowers. Look, they're amazing. So flowers like these, I'm so thankful. I'm gonna wear them for months.
Suck ups.
Suck-ups. My boring hat is finally not boring.
Oh, but it's not yet cute.
Oh,
No, mechanically, it's not cute. And also, yes, I do have beer delivery, Lana. Thank you.
he's late.
Sorry, one of my players shamed me in chat for not having my husband deliver me beer, but he had to work for it. Anywho, while you're conferring and being entirely subtle about having these little dragons help you out in town, so Hannah, are you casting your spell like the whole middle of town?
Well, let me just be sure.
Don't
it's
get
not
me wrong,
happening.
you are absolutely allowed to. Just check your
It says the area
mana
touched. It
points.
says a touched area. The area touched will be covered with lots of tiny flowers. The caster decides the variety of flowers. The flower chosen is appropriate for the area touched and is cared for. The flowers may last longer than the normal duration. So
Do any
that
of
up in
you
the chat.
need me here right now? Because I have something very important to do. No?
I just
Yeah?
need to do one
I
quick thing.
suppose
real
if you
quick.
need to.
I just have
Oh,
to roll
wait,
magic. See, yes.
need you-
Oh my lord, that is a success of a check.
Wow,
Yay.
That is a
compared to last
12.
time, that's a lot of flowers.
Dang.
Okay. Farah?
Yeah. Henry, Hannah, you talk. Wait, come with me. I need you.
Oh yeah.
Take care of the animals. We'll be back.
I can take care of the animals. Sure.
Come.
Waiden's going.
Okay, wait, seriously, we need to go to a shop right now before they close and get Hannah a new book. Because she can't not have a book, because she needs to write down things she finds, and she's given her book away, and Juniper's left already, and this is not okay. And you've got money, and I don't know how that
I am
works.
so
let's
glad
go.
you said that because I had the exact same idea. I was just
Okay,
waiting
let's go,
for
let's
a
go.
chance to get away. Okay. We're running into town.
Some ink and paper for letters as well, because if her husband's dead, she doesn't have any paper anymore, because he's the one who got her the papers. And
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Why are you
Fern.
all like this?
Because we love
Because
you.
it is Fern, and it
Oh,
is
I was
freedom.
about to say because I have excellent taste in casting.
I mean, yes, also that.
I was also gonna say, now since I'm alone with Hannah,
You can
yeah.
talk about vodka. That's enough.
yeah, I heard you deal with herbs and everything, and plants.
Yes.
I don't know what to do with this. The people of Whitecap gave this to me, so do you want these plants that they gave me?
Sure. You see her take a moment, and she's just, for reference, she's throughout a lot of this time, occasionally while walking, had like slight jingle jangle, but like it's like a tinkling of bottles, because imagine she's full like Legend of Zelda Link, like bottles
Exactly
full
that.
of stuff at all
Good.
times. Like that's her version of doing the spring magic. She just has powders and tinctures all over her, but it's like always covered by this nice like golden double buttoned up sort of overcoat and such. But she's like, sure.
And I will hand you a wrapped package, and it's just like a dried green herb. They said they have grass, but they don't have grass. I didn't really get it, and I don't know what to do with it. So,
Given Hana's long life, does she know what this is?
Oh yes.
Is it out of character? Is it what I think it is?
Oh yes.
She will save this for a special occasion.
That good
Seriously,
herb.
I ran the one shot in Whitecap with Mare as Henry and some other people, and I think I might be the only Dutch person to have never used drugs, and I had to play like 30 stoners for 3 hours.
she did
To be
great.
fair, you've been in a room with 30 stoners for over
I
so.
She did an amazing
Stoner
job.
yoga surf dudes. It was amazing.
Stoner yoga surf dudes. This
Yep.
is a statement I never thought I would ever hear in my life, and yet then I remember I play tabletop role-playing games, so
Yeah.
I will
Yep.
probably hear it.
With Dutch
It was
people.
amazing
too,
one shot.
so.
But Henry learned a lot of things.
But,
Yep.
she will pocket that away for a special occasion. Maybe when she sees Asuka again.
While Waden and I are walking back towards the shops, I will decide that the stationery shop is near the bakery.
That's fair.
And I will ask, Waden, so I gave them money and the thing I got was not what they said it was. Do you get your money back? Do you say, hey, you did something wrong? How does that work? Because maybe we can get the money back and get some stationery.
We could, try to talk to the bakery shop owner. If you'd like, I can maybe see if we can be polite but firm with
Am I
them.
not polite?
No, I think you are polite. I think they weren't very polite. And
Okay, so I'll try and you can just tap my arm and talk when you think I'm doing it wrong, okay?
yeah.
Okay, I'll go into the bakery. Hi! I was here buying the dragon cake.
Yes.
But there was an actual grass dragon who got the cake and left an angry note and almost threw it at me because it was not a good cake. And also Henry said it didn't look like the way fruitcakes should look. So I don't really know money, but I don't think 5 gold cake was that. Is it? Yeah.
In general, scarcity will drive up the price, and this was literally the only fruitcake we had, so it seemed like a very fair price.
I think it may have been the only fruitcake you had for a different reason.
Because the fruitcakes are less popular than the eclairs and the muffins.
I think this one was particularly less popular, and that we did not necessarily get a fair price.
The
I
lady
don't.
stated a very specific set of demands, and we met them.
I asked for something a dragon would like, and the dragon didn't like it.
No, you asked for a $5 fruitcake. Gold
After I
fruitcake.
asked what a dragon would like, I said, "What would a dragon like?" You said fruitcake. Do you
They
have
normally
fruitcake?
eat fruit. Who doesn't like fruit when it's baked into the cake? You just picked a very picky dragon.
Could I, real quick, out of character, which side of the town are we on? Are we on Modelin side, by chance?
Yes.
I think,
No, wait, hang on.
Wait.
Mana just decided. Oh, no, the ink place was next to the bakery place. The bakery place is on Moblin side.
okay. I think fair business practices are very important, and we are here on political business, and we'll be speaking with Modelin at the town hall soon. And I think bakery shop owners giving unfair prices, especially to traveling guests who are here to help the town and here on official business, would not sound very very polite in Modelin's eyes. So
We already got Moblin the senior citizen discount.
I'm not asking for any discount. I'm simply asking for a fair price. I'm not asking for anything on Madeleine's behalf, but I just wouldn't want to accidentally mention the horrible customer service experience that I had at this bakery if she asked me how my stay has been going here in Carico. I wouldn't want to let that slip.
They did like the eclairs. They were
They
fairly
were.
priced.
They were very delicious and
Yeah.
fairly priced.
What exactly do you want from me? What
I
is it going to take to get you to leave?
Just a refund on the fruitcake would be...
Well, not a refund because we did take it, but like partial refund.
A refund, the fare for the price according
Yeah, I
to...
think it was like a 2 gold fruitcake, maybe, not a 5.
I don't think it was even as good as the eclairs, so less than a gold piece for the fruitcake.
But they did put it in a nice box and it had a bow, and that cost money too. I am also an entrepreneur, and I know that packaging costs money.
True. Juniper had taught us much about the importance of... I say a 4 gold refund, 1 gold for the fruitcake, and get the extra money back would be a fair price, and we will leave a glowing review of your eclairs when we do meet Madeleine at the town hall.
And we'll tell the dragons that you were really fair, and we'll never sell anyone a fruitcake for dragons that looks like that again.
Because they did love the eclairs. I think
Yeah.
that's a fair agreement.
They did.
Very well. Sorry, I was critically looking up the price for disgusting food. This is fair.
Okay, thank you so much for your understanding. Okay, bye.
Abruptly.
Very
Wait,
happy
please.
to go.
Do I never ever have to do that again? It was really not fun. Let's go buy a pretty book.
Absolutely.
So for the sake of the fact that Hana needs to track the money, although apparently Waden seems to be the one spending it today, a leather-bound journal is 100 gold pieces.
Yes, I saw that because I have one of my own that I've been journaling in. So I do have the money for a leather-bound journal.
Fern doesn't know money. She doesn't care. She just knows Hannah needs one.
So
I
I'd
have
like to
7
get
whole gold.
I'd like to get a nice one, and if they have maybe something like some regional decoration to the cover or something, anything
Corn.
like flowers or
Corn.
yeah.
That's decoration corn. That's what it
Corn.
should be on.
I have
Yeah.
corn, but that's just me.
Yeah, that is definitely just... Okay, so corn
So maybe
is the
one
theme
that
of this town.
Waden was looking for, like something with flowers, and maybe didn't quite find
flowers.
flowers, but found like plants and like...
There's
It's like, it
definitely
looks
some
nice.
with plants. There's
And-
some with
and-
corn and other local vegetation.
And 4 gold worth of like paper and ink for letters.
I think ink is 2 gold, so that will work.
Okay. And could you like wrap it up really prettily, because it's for someone who just gave their life's work to a dragon, and I think they deserve something pretty. Maybe throw in an extra something.
Right. Yes, definitely. They'll add, you know how you have those little hand scooped papers?
Yes.
The really coarse kind. They'll add like 5 of those for illustrations and things in with the piece. The village. Yes, Hannah?
I didn't want to cut that scene off, so if they're still trying to finish something off from that, I can wait.
They're watching someone wrap expensive stuff for you.
Okay. I just wanted in the just the casting of the flowers thing, if that's possible to do relatively quickly, just to cause that love. My just intent with
You
that.
want to start drama? I get it.
Well, no, it wasn't just that. It was wanted to do that, but because it was Henry and I left behind, I wanted to ask were there any particular flowers in Hingen's home that it looked like he might have liked?
Funnily enough, it is roughly what was just linked in chat. Henry really likes cornflowers.
Okay, in that case, we'll do a mixture of various flowers that I have seen, because I have been wandering around. Even though I was successful to do herb gathering, I have wandered around enough to see a lot of things around the town.
Yes.
I have rolled successful perception on that before. I wanted to leave a small patch, if possible, of cornflowers, and just point them out to Henry in particular, and not say anything too prodding, but just say, that patch, if you take care of it, or if you bring someone to help you take care of it, will last a fair amount of time. You know, if you ever need company, or if you ever want to bring someone along, Henry.
Keep that in mind. Thank you, Hana.
I'm sure he will appreciate having you around.
Like how the he is open to interpretation. Anyway, you walk through town casting fairly large patches of flowers. On Henion's side, they don't particularly stand out apart from the parts where you cast them along roads. However, on Maudlin's side, you're just wreaking havoc. It is every orderly bit is just suddenly wildflowers and tall grasses. God forbid there's moss on the ground somewhere. Right in the middle of town. And people are starting to leave their homes to come and see what's going on with this. Henry, while you're walking along with Hana, a little bit off on the side of Maudlin's side of town, you see the people who are basically like there to enforce the fact that there's no animals allowed, and they've got Bridget.
I go over. What? Bridget should be on the farm. Why is she over here?
Oh, Henry, I should have known this was yours. Look, she was chasing your ferret.
Bridget.
Cross the boundaries. Just follow us to the office and we can discuss your fines.
I take Bridget's face in mine and give her a kiss on the forehead.
Bridget
Okay.
gives you the look of you always tell me to look after that ferret.
I know. Okay. I'll be right there and we'll go talk about the fines. Give me like 5 minutes. I'll be right there.
No, that's fine. I know where your parents live.
So I'll turn around and walk to the group to Waden, Fern, and Hana.
Yeah, Fern and Waden have showed up with a suspiciously large parcel that Hana isn't necessarily paying attention to. She's trying to focus on the exact type of flower to mess with Maudlin's front yard.
She's like precariously has like 3 or 4 bottles. Like think very much like a waiter. She just has like 3 or 4 that she has to.
I think she'll hate sunflowers. They're way too big and yellow.
Okay. Oh, give me 1 second. And she's more dexterous than she used to be because I leveled up her dice on dexterity.
Nice.
She's just like.
Thank you so much for starting to get this problem solved. I have to go take care of Bridget, who is in trouble, and I'm getting fined now. But I'll be in town. My farm is that direction.
Okay, we'll meet up. If we don't see you anymore, don't forget to lay eclairs out for the dragons.
Yes, thank you. It was lovely to meet you.
Maybe see you later, buddy.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, we could always send a letter.
Waden would love
Yeah.
to see you again.
Yeah, I'd love to be pen pals.
Yeah.
But nice
Waden,
meeting you.
tell him you'd love to see him again.
Yeah, I would. Absolutely. I thought I said that already. Sorry.
Not as loud as need be. You know.
Sorry.
Sometimes you have to be very clear.
Thank you.
We'll go talk to council members and deal with my horse and
Have fun.
Perfect.
Have fun.
Hannah, are you done?
She's like. There.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to the inn where the animals can have a drink. We'll have a drink, and Waden and I have something for you. But let's just first have you sit down and have some tea. Yeah.
Okay. We should probably. I'm saying this just as a note for us. For the next session, make sure like the dragons are like seen and noted by people. But that'll probably be something we can get into next session.
I was going to say we could probably leave today's session as sort of the anime camera pans back on Henry trudging on to go deal with his horse getting fined, Fern carrying a ridiculously large package, not a euphemism, and Hannah just finishing casting.
That sounds perfect to me.
Being followed by an elk, 2 goats.
2 goats. No one has seen the ferret for a suspiciously long time. I will point that out.
That ferret can take care of himself.
That means he's getting into trouble.
It's a rogue ferret.
Yeah.
I am
Henry will deal
worried.
with that later. That's future Henry's problem.
Yep.
That's exactly. If future Henry just needs to make a little deal with future Henyon and he'll be scot-free. We're just gonna rename this whole game to the Big Gay Pen Pals.
I've written to my parents.
Not the same, fortunately. Alright. Thank you all very much for the... I think we can call these shenanigans today.
Yeah, that's
For the
fair.
game.
Shenanigans today.
Wholesome shenanigans.
Wholesome shenanigans. I'm going to... a few people followed us while we were playing. I've already forgotten their names because some of them were nigh unpronounceable. Unless you are an
TNT
eldritch being, which
Killfire?
I am not. You cannot prove a thing. I will remind you all we have a Discord, a Patreon, and our merch is on So Nerdware. Michael, you know what I'm going to ask you.
I have one ready.
Thank you. Michael's going to tell us who we're rating.
We're going to be rating, I love their name, Iambic Puntameter.
Oh, wow.
They are
Me and my
playing a
husband hear
game.
about them.
They're playing a game titled A Very Trans Hogwarts Adventure, so it sounds like they will be having a lot of fun over there. Be
That does
excited
sound
to join them.
Well, in that case, let us not dally and say our goodbyes. Yeah, let's do counterclockwise again. Michael, who are you? Where can I find you? What do you love most about this game?
I'm Michael. I am at Michael Elliott on Twitter and Instagram, so you can find me there. I also stream on Twitch at Admiral_effort. I am an actor, voice actor, RPG player. I love this game for all of the little moments like we've had today where I just get to smile and feel warm inside. So that's what I'm doing.
Lana.
Hello there, everyone. I am Angela, otherwise known as Phoenix, or Phoenix24fm on Twitter, or the Philosophem over on Patreon, where I am a poet and a general writer who has various things on various topics posted up on my Patreon. I am also a writer for the Art for Ourselves online media publication, entirely run and contributions by QTPOC writers and creatives. We just share a bunch of different things on different perspectives. I myself will be writing, and hopefully have in time for our spring equinox collection coming out end of July, a piece responding to The Last of Us 2 and trans representation, which is, oh boy, is a lot.
It's really something.
It's really something, and you tried, and then you went directly into the cliffside, but we'll get
Don't
into
give it away.
Oh,
Make
no.
people read it.
Yes. And I'm one half of the Queerly Yours relationship podcast, where my partner and I, who are a polyamorous couple and both trans, talk about various topics like long-distance dating, communication styles, check in into our relationships, and also intimacy, consent, and a bunch of other stuff. A lot of our advice boils down to talk to each other. No, seriously, actually talk to each other. For God's sake, do this. And tiny other thing before I do quickly what I love about this game. I am actually working on my first game, so I am making a little for the I forget what it. I think it's called our term for it is Descended from the Queen or Descended from the Kingdom. I forget what the phrasing is. Inspired game where it's inspired also by the search for Christopher Robin. For anyone who's ever seen that movie growing up, and Winnie the Pooh.
I did not like Winnie the Pooh. I do like Descent from the Queen.
It's a deck of cards based storytelling prompt system. So
Feel free to let people know when you need a test group.
yes, I will most assuredly do that. And also,
I will say I have tested other games before.
I already trust you. And I love...
Unwise.
I trust everyone. It's why I get hurt so often. Anyways, I love everything just about this group and the system's wholesomeness that it encourages, even when we're being silly and making inappropriate jokes. And I also just want to give a major shout out to just Lana in general. Lana is one of my favorite just people playing a character and just people in these spaces. You embody your character in faults, foibles, and even more so to the sweetness, and I want to give a lot of praise for that.
Okay. Lana, it's your turn. Do you want to cry? Should I skip to Mer first?
People shouldn't be nice to me. It works on my emotions. Hi, my name is Lana. I am an illustrator who just is crawling out of their COVID art block. So if you want to see what I do, it's just down there. Nobody can pronounce it, so because it's Dutch.
I can.
Don't forget about Clover, the Black Lives Matter goat, because it still does, and don't forget about it because it's not as prevalent on your social media thingies. Yeah, that. And well, I love this game for all these reasons, but the moment I enjoyed the most was the fact that Inez left her body and inhabited yours for like a split second, because
astral projected into our game.
She was here, and that's quite a feat.
Who knew I was an actual medium instead of just a fake one? I'm not. I just play one on TV. Thank you. Mare.
Hi, I'm Mare. First of all, thank you for having me. This was a lovely, lovely group. Ryuutama is great and wholesome, and I very much love playing Henry. I am a DM and player on the Twitch channel Open for Adventure. I am in a bunch of upcoming games. Wednesdays, 6:30 Central. It was a one-shot. Brian Battalion. Thursdays, 7 Central. Time zones suck.
Time zones, man.
Time zones. I play in Invisible Sun, which has a couple episodes left. If you like Elder Scrolls, I play in an Elder Scrolls game on Fridays at 6 Central. And I'm running a one-shot on the 25th at 10:30 a.m. Central. Janique's gonna be in, actually.
Ooh.
She doesn't play enough games already.
I know.
You know how hard it is for us to plan to play with her?
I only have 9 campaigns. Stop judging me.
And we're not even counting the one-shots.
Never.
No, never count the one-shots. That just makes me cry.
And you can find me on Twitter at Archmage of Dice.
All right,
and we'll
thank you very much.
We'll go to the blur of Anique.
I was about to say, apparently I am some kind of eldritch being because my camera can't even focus on my magnificence. That's the only conclusion I have for my camera problems today.
Like you're it's not that your name is incomprehensible, it's that your very visage inspires static in all devices.
I mean, I'll accept that. My name is Anique. You can find me on Twitter at Aniquester, where I've been taking a bit of a break. Twitter's driving me a little crazy. I do still read my DMs. Technically, I'm a really boring person who works in IT, but by night I do a lot of RPGs and I paint watercolors. I have commissions open. And my superpower is that I have an opinion on everything, so tread lightly.
We're already reading.
Ah!
What? We're talking
I'm
for
sorry.
no particular reason? Michael!
I tried to start it early this time because it takes like a minute and a half for it to go to the raid.
So this channel currently has ombuds people. Can I complain about my producer somewhere?
I mean, you can.
You can complain right here because nobody's watching us anymore. I'm sorry.
Oh, oops.
You know, I'm going to be in a one-shot on Open for Adventure 25th.
Well
I'm
done.
so sorry. I feel so bad.
You
Well
should.
done.
This is my moment in the sun.
This is
This
how
is the only
guilt
reason I do
works.
this.
This
to
is
you
what I get for
people.
trying to. This is what I get for trying to like
No,
make it
don't even
smoother.
talk to me anymore.
Paired.
It started
You just
early.
have to
Don't
mention
anymore.
it. Mention it next Wednesday. Next Monday.
Fine.
It's okay.
I'm not mad. The narrator.
Oh, I'm just
She was
very
right.
disappointed in you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
No.
go apologize to
I
everyone.
thought you were better than this.
Anik, it's on you to expect more. That you expected that much, that's your fault. You can't blame Michael. This is how Jewish guilt works, thank you.
You're right, this is my problem for having any expectations at all.
Yeah! I mean,
You're
it's
right,
just
you're
not
right.
fair.
No,
You-
it's true. I will do better. I will lower the bar.
I do not mean a word of this,
Sorry.
Michael, and I hope you know
Sorry, I
this.
feel so
Don't,
bad.
you don't have to
Happen.
be.
It's
All right. In that case, I won't pile on and say at least we had audio for the entire game.
I can do
'Cause
that
I'm a bad
much.
person.
I can do that every time.
Oh.
All right.
I
So,
love playing
Mare,
Fern.
thank you so much for
Really,
being a guest
Mare,
player in your
Thank
hometown.
you
Henry is
for
adorable as
having me.
always.
This
Henry-
I'm
was
so glad you
light.
came play.
Oh.
Come play more. Why do you have to have a job? Why do you have to
I know,
eat?
right?
This is